and welcome everybody here to the pregame show. We got a little bit of extra time here to kill before the series starts between Miami Vice and why did I blank on their name? Fel, can you help me out?
Amethyst.
Thank you. Maybe I
There you
just blocked them out of my memories because they absolutely stomped my
go.
boys last week.
Why would you not want to see them again?
Oh no, that's all it just they were really good last week, and to this week here they've got a little bit of proving it to do here as they're going to be going against Miami Vice, who brought earlier yesterday in the stream, but that was last week's game, who brought a 3-game series against Rivals Gold, a team that a lot of people have good expectations for. So hey, they looked legit, but we've got some holes in the armor to talk about, some interesting plot lines to follow here before the series starts. So Fel, I think we should start going over Miami Vice, just because they were recently there. And as
Okay.
a reminder, that is Noto top, Soul Muncher jungle, Renegade mid lane, Trey in the AD carry, and Moby White in the support role. And I'm going to start with support from
It's
bot
your
to
lane.
top there. It's my lane, and I like it a lot. And the one thing that I really, really don't want to see, I know he's a specialist at it, but Moby, please don't pick Pike. That was painful to watch. It was in a bad spot, and it really, I don't think it cost you the series, the game there, or the series at all. But it's like you looked fine at it for the first 10 minutes, which is just Pike. Pike does that. As I keep noticing, my face is so washed out. But like there's so many better picks, and they've got better champions in their repertoire. I see the Zac there. Poppy can be very aggressive, and you can also just play like the standard tank supports just really far up. And I think they just do a lot more for the team. I don't know about you, Phil.
Yeah, I don't like the pike. It's very hard to play proficiently. I didn't think that Moby did a bad job on it. But it's just kind of like what you said. The team ended up falling behind in other ways, and at that point, their bot lane was not far enough ahead for them to make up for that pick, and there could have been much more utility based around and everything. Did play well on it and made it look good for the first little bit, like you said, but after that it was just kind of Um, but overall, I think when they were on uh, when they had the
Mhm.
Brom lane was really good. Um, I actually really like the Ziggs play. I know that you're talking about support right now, but
I
the
mean, we can go
Renata
to
was
AD carry.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, the Renata in game one looked pretty good. Little rough in the beginning against the Nautilus, but they ended up turning it around. Some really good ults, some Ws that really like bought extra time in some of the team fights and stuff. But overall, the pike was an interesting pick, and I was watching the chat with it too, and the casters didn't really love it too much. But if it's a comfort, I'm all about comfort. Like if that's one of your things, as long as the rest of your team can play around it. And I guess moving up to Trey was to me one of the bright spots of the series.
So
His Ziggs game was really good. Um, I really enjoyed watching how patient he was and how focused on farming. And then when team fights started to happen around him, he was always there doing what he was supposed to be doing and was never, well, a few times got caught out, but their whole team was at that point in game three and game two. But
that
yeah,
was
Trey to me was a gold star
getting getting
of
caught
that
out was
game.
like a theme of Miami Vice. It seems throughout. I mark them specifically as like a team that really struggles to not get picked off in that kind of transition from early to mid game, where skirmishes turn into being punished. It's not just we just lost like 600 gold because two died in a skirmish. It's like, okay, now an objective's getting traded. Now we're really losing jungle camps. Now we're really starting to lose like plates or even towers. And they just really seem to lack understanding of where they're supposed to be. They know stuff is supposed to happen. They know kind of what it's supposed to be. They know they're supposed to do Herald, but how do we approach that? That seems to be like a question that was always in their minds. And Trey generally approached that well. Um,
Hmm.
but I think the person that really, in my eyes, has to prove themselves, it's almost like a maybe a narrative throughout the rest of the season, is going to be Renegade. That
Yeah.
first game, they're you check their solo queue games and they look decent at the Yone, maybe dying a little too bit much. And we saw that hand over fist in that game too. There, they ended up switching the Yone and the Aurora top and in mid. And I think that's a really cool switch that they have, but it's like, dude, you cannot be dying 6 times. You cannot really be getting behind in lane like that, especially in mid lane. Your whole map collapses when you don't have a rock there.
Yeah, and that is game one, putting him on something tanky and utility and did enough damage and uh, basically held his own on the Galio. And I was like, okay, cool, you know. And then game two happens. The Yone switches from top to mid. I don't know what the catalyst for that was, but their top laner definitely played that a lot better um, than the mid lane, at least in that. You know, maybe it was the Mel matchup. Maybe it was just too aggressive. You can be aggressive on Galio. You can ult out. You can get away. There's certain things, or you can just soak as much damage and take a couple ults, and your team can come in and finish, which is kind of what happened in game one. In game two on the Yone, you die pretty quickly, and nobody like had an answer for after that. And then Mel just snowballing. And then in game three, the Zed into a Veigar, not my favorite.
You
I don't like
need to
going
be so
into that.
aggressive
Yeah.
on that. He just
Hmm.
he couldn't find the tempo. It's almost like a rhythm you have to find in your mind when you're playing those champions. The Yone also, where you have to be killing your laner no matter what, even if like it sucks and the matchup isn't good for it. That's kind of your job. You have to
Right.
kill someone on the map, and if you're not able to effectively do that and create a good enough lead, it really does just kind of make everyone question like, why did you pick this, even if you think it's good there. And it did look fine in the game. It wasn't a bad pick. It wasn't an int, but like you need to be doing so much more in the champion, and you couldn't do that. Speaking of someone that I kind of want to see more from is Soul Muncher. Not that they did bad either. They had 2 games of Sejuani, 1 game of the Nocturne last week, and they looked fine. It's just like I want to see more to get a better opinion of the player. I don't want to like make this judgment call of like, hey, you're probably just going to be a Sejuani merchant throughout the season, but I mean, like, there's no issue with that if you've got a melee player. I see they have the games in the Nautilus as well, so maybe something spicy coming from them.
Yeah, and the Nocturne worked out well because Mel or somebody would be low, and then they would play cleanup, and then there was nothing to gain after that. So it wasn't like they were using the Nocturnal proactively. It was almost always reactive, and I mean that's going to happen when your lanes are just kind of getting. And but is that also tied into the fact that you're not being aggressive enough on a champion that should be ganking, you know, early and at least making 1 or 2 ganks per clear and trying to get some flashes, trying to get your laners in a better position and then holding on to objectives. You know, he has a lot of sustain for the grubs and he can kind of do dragon quick and stuff. And it wasn't really happening. The Sejuani was a lot cleaner. I always love having as much CC as you possibly can when I do drafts or whatever, I always like having 5 CC champs, like whether that's an Ash ADC or something like that. So uh, yeah, to me the Nocturne was okay. I'd like to see if they pull it out again, if they could be a little more proactive. But if not, there's nothing wrong with being on tanky engage, helping out your laners and providing that utility.
It's not like there's an issue with being kind of locked to those um kind of more tanky the elo kind of inflated champions a lot of people like to talk about in the jungle, but someone needs to do it. Someone needs to frontline. If you're really good at it, that's a genuine skill that is hard to develop and hard to nurture. So if you've got it, like, run away with the skill. But I just want to see more before I kind of like make a call on Soul Muncher. So last person that we do need to talk about is Noto, the top laner from Vice. Had the Aurora too, and I actually really like top laners that have those weird flex picks
Mhm.
that they can go for, and it didn't look
I don't.
terrible. You just have it was a bad game for it. You're picking Aurora into Shen. Yes, I know Aurora into Mel is bad, but Yone into Mel is worse. I think
Mhm.
that was the mid lane of that game. It was this. Excuse me. The swap was bad. You're picking Aurora into Shen. You can't stop alt now. Now you have to farm, and like his farming was fine. Like, give me something good. I want to be positive
Yeah.
here. I'm trying to be positive.
Yeah, so a positive thing to take away is that at one point it was like 95 CS to like 40 on the Shen.
Yeah.
Way ahead. The only thing that could have probably been better is if the jungler would have noticed, hey, I have such a huge lead here on top. Play around grubs, play around top, do all that stuff. Maybe ban the Shen so that there's not a global that he can go and make up for the fact that he's 50 CS down, 2 deaths, no kills, no assists, and then all of a sudden he ults into a fight and it's 3 kills for nothing, and the whole momentum of the game is turned around and Aurora's sitting up top like, oh, I got another plate. You know, I have half a turret, and I've had no jungle support here, so we can't push the turret. You know what I mean? So
Mhm.
if taking those champions as a top laner, I hate playing against them. Um, but the idea behind taking a lane bully, you just have to do something with it. You know,
Mhm.
get your jungler in their jungle, go together.
Yeah.
You know, hover each other, and I think that that could be really useful because they did get a lead, and he's going. I don't know if this is a good segue or not, but he is going against the top laner in last week that absolutely dominated his lane. Like it didn't matter what was going on with the rest of the team, they were winning that game because of what Ducks did. And so it's going to be interesting to see this dynamic where two strong top laners going against each other. Are the jungles going to be able to do something to push that?
Yeah, Dux is another person, and Amethyst as a whole, I think, really has this narrative of we just watched them absolutely dumpster a team that a lot of people preseason had hopes for. I hyped them up too, ate my word for it, of course, and happily did so. But they have this narrative now of like, okay, you just absolutely stomped this team that was expected to do well. what what next? Now you're playing against another team, maybe a little more middle of the table, but this is a chance either to cement yourself as, hey, we are the top team. We've got all these mechanical hands from the AD carry position spreading around the map because a lot of them do kind of like mastery wise specialize in AD carry, but they looked great. They looked fine on the map. I generally thought that their movements were fine. Their laning fundamentals were great. It's just
Mm-hmm.
about they were kind of shaky in late game team fights just from the sheer
Yeah.
fact that Grass had a chance to come back in both games. They had a chance to fight. And it's like, okay, they're drafting for it, but at the same time, you have like a 4,000 gold lead, 3,000 gold lead on top lane. There should be no realm where you're like getting close to losing this game, and they got close. So I want to see more of them, especially Ducks, but also I need to see Bigsby do more in the jungle. They have more practice, they have more reps on it. They're still kind of playing some of those like weird off meta junglers, but hey man, another week, another dollar.
Yeah, I actually thought that the jungle was a good bright spot playing around his top laner, and then getting all the objectives. Like they were there on timers. Like they it seemed like somebody, whoever it is on LFA, who is the shot caller, did a really good job last week against
Mhm.
touching grass for the early to mid game. And then, as you said, they got themselves in some really bad team fight situations, just locked into like these corridors where they were just bleh, you know, and no matter what they did and no matter how far ahead they are, when you start getting ripped from just position to player, and then losing those, but the fortitude to be able to come back from that and be like, hey guys, listen, we're ahead. We can stomp these dudes. You know, we just need to make sure our Nara is ready. We need to make sure that our top laner's like here and we're good to go. And 5v5 instead of 4v5, 3v5, and then stragglers that just can't finish it off. They did get back to it, what was working for them in the beginning, which was outpacing, outwarding, and out positioning. But yeah, they do have those little mental gaps, and Bigsby's part of that. But also, he is a big reason why their lanes were so far ahead. The active jungler was the one that sort of was the catalyst for moving forward.
That was a name I remember at least calling a lot last week was Son of Zeus.
Mm-hmm.
Or I imagine that's supposed to be Zeus, but I still don't like pronouncing that name right anyway. But Son of Zeus was really good in mid lane. They were holding their own against Beeson, who is supposed to be this like strong laning player from grass. No matter like where you look, this is the guy that's supposed to do well. And Son of Zeus held their own, did really well, got a solo kill game one too, and looked great doing it. So it's keeping it up. You're playing against what a lot of people or well will consider like a vulnerable laner. Renegade struggled to really get their foot in the door. So like it's not that big of a change. It should be a slam dunk, but if it's not a slam dunk, oh, fraud watch.
Yeah, and that's one of those things. Like B, I know B personally, and I think he's a really good mid laner. He would poop on me in the mid lane, and for him to be able to hold his own and actually outperform, if Renegade did not take any notes and does not play a little bit better, this could be really bad. bad, and this could be like a flip for who the MVP is between the top and the mid. That was a very strong performance by Zayas last week, and just you don't have to do too much, right? You just have to do what is necessary to keep your team within it, not let their mid lane get ahead, which is kind of what Renegade did. He overstepped or wasn't paying attention, and then took the fall for it. And then I guess from here we can move into the bot lane where we have who is it? Yes, Parade and
Zealous Valor AD
yeah.
carry.
Okay, yeah, yeah. Yeah, go ahead with that.
Yeah,
What your thoughts on
so
it?
Zealous looked great last week. They were playing against, like, yeah, you're playing against a one trick, but it's still kind of an AD carry role. Everything transfers pretty well, and they looked good. So it's not that big of an issue, and I imagine more time working with Yes Parade is only going to benefit them. As a bot lane, the biggest issue that I saw from them was just their vision game. They were finding periods of priority, but they weren't necessarily getting deep enough vision that I'd be looking for from a lane in their state. But it wasn't bad. Their mechanics were good, as I'd expect from 280 carry players. But in the end, uh, it's another thing where I want to see more, not necessarily because I thought they were bad, but it's just because, like, dude, the state that grass were left in after that landing phase just makes it so hard to really buy into any narrative, like, positively from either team, to be honest. So uh, kind of keep my eyes on them. The big thing that I need to see from Yes Parade is kind of more time on support role, which just means more support fundamentals need to kind of be had. I think they were there, but, like, I need to see it again, and we hopefully do. More time on support is always good, but there's very specific things that I need to see from any level of support, specifically around, like, when you're going for vision around objectives, that I think kind of separates the good and the bad sports, and that's usually around, like, kind of guessing where laners are.
Yeah, and an 80 carry playing support, I want to see a bard. I want to see something with some range that you
Or
can
Senna.
like yeah, or Senna. There's 80 supports that you can play, ranged supports that you can play that really tie along with your core mechanics of being an ADC player, is that spacing, is that knowing you know what you can get away with, things like that. And then if you do get a lead, like you said, the deep vision probably would have stemmed a lot of the issues that they had in the mid to late game team fights if you set up for things prior to them happening. If you sort of push push the bubble of your vision and knowing where the team is coming from and having that vision of, okay, we're getting flanked here, we're getting this here, um, can really stop them from being a 35-minute team or winning team to like a 30-minute winning team. And then you just become so efficient and so good at what you're doing that, like, they looked really, really good. I love the aggression overall from LFA last week. I love the picks and how their teams work together and how they just sort of pushed every advantage that they had, and they made up for when they lost the bot lane in the beginning, where they were a little bit behind. They made up for it with the fact that they could push priorities elsewhere and just survive. But yeah, knowing that they're both ADCs now, I didn't know that about Yes Parade. Like, I want to see the ranged. I want to see skill shot based. I want to see good setup from him, and I think that they could definitely take this away from uh, Miami Vice today.
Percent now. Last second here, predictions. Uh, we're gonna just kind of do some predictions before we go into a little short break before draft teams are about ready. But uh, that means just kind of looking around down the board. We've talked about them. Fel, I don't know about you. I'm kind of bought into Amethyst. They really proved me wrong, and my gut is saying 2-0, to be honest, just because of the sheer kind of flub that is Miami Vice's mid game. Makes it hard for me to kind of buy into it because I feel like we're going to hit 15 minutes, the bell's going to toll, and all of a sudden, when map movements have to happen, I'm going to favor the team that just is ready to fight constantly, which Amethyst 100% is. They're always ready to buy into that fight. They're always ready to just send it at any opportunity they can get. So I don't know about you, but I'm confidently saying a 2-0.
Okay. Without taking the teams that they went into account, Miami Vice did a much better job at sort of holding their own and at least elongating the games and doing a better job of when they were losing to sort of slow it down and control a little bit of the tempo. Obviously, there's not much you can do when there's a 9-0 Mel or whatever it was, you know. But I think that team concept wise, they drafted well. They played to their concept. They just didn't execute uh, mechanically. But I think that um, the vision is there, the plan is there, and if they can stick to their plan and they can execute a little bit better, especially around the mid lane, I do think that they do have a chance. I'm going to say that I think Amethyst is going to win, but I want to look at the drafts first before I say whether it's going to be a 2-0 or a 1-2 or whatever. But I'm kind of with you. LFA was very impressive last week, and if they play like that again and they clean up their mid to late game, I don't know if there's a team that I've watched that could really just stomp them.
Right. The desk fully in favor of Amethyst, which is Miami Vice. I can see a couple of you guys in there. You've got a lot to prove here going to the series. We're going to head it to a quick little break just before draft for game one starts. Don't go anywhere. We will be right back. Will do. And oh,
Right.
excuse me. We
All
are
right.
back here for draft one of the first game here between Miami Vice. They're labeled as GCCe and the little fellas Amethyst. We had the pregame show, and just looking for some interesting picks. We mentioned that there's a lot of 80 carries on the side of Amethyst, so maybe expecting more aggression, expecting a lot more kind of early game-esque comps, maybe less of the front to back scaling, but who knows. I know what I want to see is I want to see Alawi top from Noto. I just kind of looked into one of their games, a couple more of their games, and a little more into it, and they don't look too bad at it. Die a lot, but hey, split pushing's always working.
Yeah, the split push game is hard to defend against, and a lot of people don't really understand how to play with it sometimes, so it can be frustrating. Obviously, Miami Vice did do their homework from last week, as we see the Kennen, Trundle, and the Yunara bands coming out.
Yeah,
Like right away, they're just like, who carried? Like, let's get rid of that. And then LFA seemingly like they're just doing the same bands that who was it?
Soul Muncher
That they
does
wouldn't
have a
get-
lot of games in the Heck Room, and as you can see, the 1st
Mhm.
champion going through its Jinx to literally no one's surprise. The champion's just so good at just cleaning up team fights. You don't have to deal a lot of damage, only have to hit for about half of their HP, and that just means you have to find that half of HP damage coming through. But Amethyst immediately answering back with the Kites and Nautilus. Good answer into Jinx, but is it enough?
That is very, very good. You know, can control the late game, can kind of do stuff. But probably see as we see the Braum coming out, try to keep the Jinx alive. This may end up being protect the president kind of comp here. But yeah, Nautilus and Kaisa, they work really well together. He procs her passive for her and stuff. And then Vice, we do see the Viego coming out for more than potentially the jungle. I know that his passive did get reworked, so he does more damage to minions, but yeah, Viego in the jungle more than likely, and answered with a Foley Bear for LFA.
Yeah, nothing too surprising if you've been paying attention to at least like solo queue win rates or kind of any other lower elo league. A lot of people like these champions. It's point and click. It's pretty easy to do, minus the Viego. Viego typically considered one of the harder champions of the game, but if you're playing against a bunch of easy to execute stuff, it's not actually that hard. So can be very enabled, especially against a team with Nautilus like Amethyst. Nautilus, typically, if you get the ball rolling and killing the Nautilus, you kind of can't stop dying. It's so hard to stop. You're so hard to actually act like a frontline. So, and you give that dredge line, that hook from Nautilus to Viego there, and the band's coming through the Gnar and the Talia there from Miami Vice. Amethyst there banning out the Asol and the Alawi, so I'm not happy this game.
You're not getting that one.
Not getting that one, sadly.
And then I guess we'll see if they're going to do something with a lot of movement or some dashes. Getting rid of Talia, I mean, it wasn't terrible last week for LFA. I don't know if it really was the reason that they won or anything, as we get a Lulu. What the
I see what's going on here.
Are we doing a Nautilus jungle here?
We're doing a Nautilus jungle. I really like this. You don't really want to show that this early in the draft, though. Typically, you want to hold on to this kind of a flex way until 5 and pick your mid, unless you're deciding like, yeah, I want to run Nautilus mid here, which could be an option into the Yone, a melee into a melee. You have a lot of base damage on the Nautilus that can kind of deal with Yone, and now that's immediately getting switched up. You don't want to play Nautilus mid into Ahri.
I'm really, really glad that they decided to put the Yone top. I think that he played it a lot better than Renegade did, and now... yeah, this is going to be a Nautilus jungle. I am excited, so excited for this. This is going to be, LFA is going to win this one just off of that.
That big of a fan of the Nautilus jungle.
I love it. You know, you're just going to come into lanes and press your R, and just people are going to die. It's not, I actually don't know. You still run into the same issues. If you're going to the bot lane, you're going to have to deal with Braum E blocking your ult and stuff like that. But they did buff it. They want to see it, and now we're gonna see it. So it's exciting. Yeah, that's
So
okay. Yeah. So Go
So
ahead.
you
Yeah.
you like the Nautilus you like the Nautilus jungle. I don't think has it been played in Merc IBSG yet? I don't believe so. Every single jungler that I look at has games on it, so they all want to play it. It's not like they don't have experience on it, and so this is pretty useful here. But we're gonna be heading into the game. My prediction: 2-1 or 2-0. My bad for Amethyst. Fell 2-1. Going straight into game one between us. There's the Nautilus jungle confirmed and locked in. And no funny business, sadly, with the Nautilus, though.
Yeah, that is kind of disappointing. Although you don't want to be starting Q on Nautilus jungle, so it's kind of like
Sure.
you're pigeonholed into not really doing much, and then you just hope that they don't 5-man come into your 5-man invade right from the get go. I do like also the Lulu pick for Yes Parade because it will be able to help the Nautilus stay alive if he goes in. It will be able to um, buff the Kai'Sa and everything. Her W can still proc the passive, much like Nautilus for the Kai'Sa. But yeah, this is going to be interesting. I like the Lulu better than the Braum, but if you do get caught out, Braum can definitely punish you, especially with a Jinx in the backup. So
That passive is going to get procced very, very quickly
mhm.
with Jinx, Braum, and any sort of kind of auto attack battle that you want to go through. And but as you mentioned, the Nautilus can't go for anything too aggressive, and they're good on Son of Zeus, already getting the ward on the Raptor camp. They're going to be able to find where Soul Muncher is very quickly. And I like how you also kind of mentioned in draft as like the Bard and the Sennas, or in pregame at least, Bard and Sennas for Yes Parade as an AD carry player, but Lulu can do that too. You can get aggressive. They did just nerf her damage, but it's 5 base on the
Yeah.
E is all that got nerfed. It's not that big of a deal, especially with how strong Q is.
Yeah, it's not, and you know, stepping up like this, you can end up getting caught out. And one thing that I don't think we were aware
Speaking
of,
of
but
caught out, Nodo just way too far forward on Ducks. You're gonna lose half your HP already, and the wave's coming into you. Not a good spot.
one thing that we were not made aware of is the mid laner is not Renegade. I guess they swapped him out for Ghosty this week,
Oh,
so this is going to be a complete unknown. But Son of Zeus did play against one of the best Aries that I know of in the IBSG field, which is decent. So he should be able to, you know, deal with that.
true end. As anyone can take a quick little look at chat, you can see there. Make sure to get your predictions through. Spend them points. They're not used for a whole lot else, so might as well gamble. As every single sport league seems to convince us that that is the best thing to do. Doing us here on the caster booth, or at least I predicted all my points there onto Amethyst on the blue side. But other than that, nothing too crazy happening. We're crossing the 310 mark. Got to keep an eye on those jungle clears as the gank's going to come through. And a flash forward from Ducks to top lane, abusing that PTA damage, abusing that ignite, and found their first kill. They're on the board.
Yeah, and I was just about to mention that, hey, he has to be careful going up too much. We do know that Nodo's pretty good on this Yone, and then having uh, Soul Muncher on his way up there looked like he was pathing towards that way to potentially gank, but no need to be too passive now. That was a clean kill.
Did burn the flash from Dux in order to do that, but Dux has got information on Soul Muncher already, so the gank is just moot. It's not able to be happening. Nautilus is already working on that crab. Viego gets that first reset off first. He's going to get spotted. I'm just looking at the map right now in bot lane. It's just trading back and forth there. Yes, Parade and Zealous generally have that that farm advantage. They can just push like so much easier with the Lulu and with the Kai'Sa in comparison to Jinx. Braum doesn't want to lose HP for free. But with that Trebush ward, they're going to be able to spot Nautilus here. Maybe formulate a little play onto him.
Yeah, if he stays and they keep playing like they're not there, we do see Viego coming over as well, as he is gonna go in.
Bixby
and this
did
bad.
fine. Yeah, it could be bad, and there it is. That Zealous Ranger getting caught out, has to flash away from the Braum passive. One more. Moby just barely misses the winner bite there. Soul Muncher gets blocked up by the minion. Yes, Parade ate the stacks. Now it's turning onto Trey. Trey has to flash away from the root from Nautilus there. Bixby burns a lot, and now there's the dredge line. One more catch on the Moby White. Root's not going to land. And they're out of there. Amethyst not quite able to get the pick that they wanted of Bixby.
No, but it was really well played. After the play died, they did start to just go back like they're supposed to. You just go away, and then they had an opportunity. If Nautilus actually would have not canceled his auto attack there, Braum would have been sitting there for another half a second, and it could have been bad. But well played from both teams to just sort of realize what was going on, and then just all you get out of it is summoners, and sometimes that's the best thing you can hope for.
All flashes, and well, actually, no. Lulu still has a flash in the bot lane, but Zealous and Trey keep their hands on the barriers, but no Braum exhaust. Could mean a little bit of window at level 6 Ducks here. Still hasn't reset off that first blood, so Noda's trying to use that as best as possible. And also, Volibear has the ultimate. Trying to be scared of the bear. You gotta fear the bear. There's two bears in this game you're afraid of. You're afraid of Tibbers, because rock, paper, Tibbers. I love that minigame, and I'll talk about that if an it gets picked. And here's the other bear, the Volibear. Being able to turn off towers is just so strong, especially for dives, especially for pushing. And with all that pressure bot top lane, this is starting the dragon.
Yeah, and this is what we talked about in the pregame. Bigsby doing a really good job of just, realizing when they have good timers and just being aggressive on these objectives. That is going to win them the game if they can keep this up. LFA really needs to just stop resting on their laurels, and you have a little bit of a lead in the mid lane. Start to use it because.
I was expecting a fight. Sorry.
Yeah, no, you're good. I stopped for it. The objectives is going to be something that can win this game for them. So they do need to be careful. See a dive?
Oh, dive's gonna come through. I didn't even get a chance to blink. Noto couldn't quite do it. Ducks finishes off the kill top lane.
Oh man, we were talking about him diving under the turret, and instead of all Ducks, it's like he's still playing from last week. That was insane. What a great saving his ult, and just what a great anti-dive. A one-man, 2 for nothing, and he's gonna go back with 2,500 gold to be able to buy whatever he wants. I'm interested to see what kind of a build path he's gonna go with on this goalie.
Now, well,
Does look like
there's your.
for the Nashers.
I'm not a big fan of the AP. It's fine in the lanes there, as Moby White's going to get pretty aggressive on Yespray. Can't get that turret shot. He's low, has to get away. The Chomper's going to be able to get the root off of Lulu. No, not enough damage. That's where that 5-8 damage nerf comes through. Stops the Lulu from picking up the kill.
Yeah, that was close. Just a little bit of an overstep for Moby there. I think he's probably learned his lesson already. As Noto now has to be way more careful than this.
Oh, Dox has so much damage. That blasting wand, that extra AP does so much on the Volibear in these scenarios. Yes, you're able to get away with it in top lane because of how much more gold you get. You don't get stuck on items as often as you do in jungle here. And Noto has to respect that. Uses the Soul Unbound just to get away, and that's a big cooldown. That's your trading pattern.
Yeah, and now we see Braum coming up. They're gonna try to answer Bigsby on these grubs. Ducks is just gonna get
Noto
kill here. Oh,
he's gonna flash away. He's lucky that Noto doesn't have the ultimate, but now Noto has priority to move over. Looks like he's gonna look for the dive anyway. Doesn't care and just gets the kill. Bigsby found Soul Muncher. Yespray gonna get traded out. That's the Jinx Rocket. Does no damage. Eyes are on a Soul Muncher. Was on a Soul Muncher. He's gone. Ghosty has one more Spirit Rush. Is gonna try to go to Ducks. Ducks exhausted, stunned, charmed. Shockwave keeps him alive for a little bit longer. Ghost misses the flash over the wall. Tragedy strikes as GCCe picks up one of the grubs, but loses Noto for it.
Yeah, I mean...
Oh, what the? They kept it going. Son of Zeus, no mana. You can't be here. You gotta run. Kites away. Moby White doesn't have the damage. Winter's Bite, not enough to finish up the play. Ghosty keeps going through. They're trying to challenge Bigsby on this dragon. Noto back in the TP. Ducks here as well to make sure that it's zoned off. Bigsby and Ghosty trying to get the last shot there. It's gonna be finished off by LFA. They're gonna get the credit for the feat of strength. And now Soul Muncher back off respawn. We've been going for a while, and Bigsby gets punished. Ghosty picking up the kill. It's 2 in the pocket of GCCe, but LFA, they're just getting away with it.
Yeah, and what else are you gonna do? Are you gonna concede that grub, or are you gonna give the kill over? So he gets the grub. He was probably gonna die anyways, especially with Diego coming right up there. I like the play from Bigsby there to just be aggressive on the objective, do what you can. Volley, unfortunately, was already gone, so you didn't have him actually up there.
Oh, he's going through. Fate sealed. That's going to get traded away, but Noto cannot match the damage, cannot match the ignite, cannot get out. Dux is dominating 6-0 on the top lane. Yespray getting a little bit traded up on the Braum, forces the W away. Stand beside me is standing and running away. Son of Zeus doesn't have Shockwave quite yet, can't make this work. But Dux, proving me wrong. I said he has to prove us wrong here on the task in order to look like a dominant top laner. 6-0. Looking beautiful doing it.
Yeah, this is going to be another one for LFA where maybe this is their win con of just staying ahead through the top lane. It's looking just like it was against Touching Grass last week. And then, you know, on the side of Miami Vice, they do have a 2-0 Ari who can turn things around, who can get away from the Bully Bear, who can, you know, provide some agency. So we're going to have to look at that to see if, you know, Ghosty can carry this from the mid lane perspective and sort of just, you know, haul off or keep the Bully Bear at bay in these team fights.
You have to make use of that. Why can't I? Malignance, there we go. I was going to say Mana Muse. That's not quite yet. Malignance in the inventory of Ghosty, meaning you can use that ultimate a lot. You pretty much have to be using it almost off cooldown in order to make advantage of it, and Ghosty's just going to trade away. That's kind of where I expect it to be used, just because you have that cooldown so short with the bonus ultimate haste that virtually every, like, 4 to 5 waves you should have it. Noto just has to respect Dux for me. Dux knows exactly where this is going. Noto in the wrong space, wrong time, and couldn't get the wave. Crash, he's going to get traded now back to the bot lane. Dreadline's going to be found in a Moby, and there is the depth charge. Ghosty has to blast away with the Spirit Rush. Rocket did finish him off. Moby is the first to die. Son of Zeus picks it up. Ghosty trying to get away. Has the ability to with the bonus movement speed, but GCCe are just getting absolutely out-roamed on these fights. Second Dragon started up by LFA.
Yeah, we'll see if Soul Muncher can steal this potentially. He does have the Blast Cone to get in, to get out. Does not have ult, but does have Flash to get out, but it does look like they're going to concede it. And yeah, that Lulu pick coming in clutch right there.
Pick coming in clutch. Talking about clutch, Duxerme is just diving raw. Noto gets the tower shut off onto them, uses the Fate Seal to keep them alive a little bit longer. And they're staying in this just for a bit. Hex Dragon's taken up. Ocean Soul map coming through, and Noto 2 levels down, evens up the HP, but a reset's gonna fix that here for Dux.
Yeah, and even though he's so far behind, his Yone is actually
Oh, the TP's coming through. Dux found Noto. Ghosty forcing the issue with the teleport. Can Dux get away? Ghosty maybe doesn't want to challenge this head on. Doesn't have Spirit Rush. Not able to find the charm either a second time. There's Dux in the tower. Trey's running down. Yes, Parade. Zap's gonna miss. Moby White can't find the winner's bite either. Now it's Viego's turn. Nah, he's not trying to stop it. Don't stop that reset. I'm watching that now. Yes, Parade. Trey getting a little too far, a little forward. Dux, don't do it. Oh my. Whoa. Fancy feet keeps him there for a little bit longer. He doesn't have teleport, so mind you, on these resets, he's going to be losing minions. Whatever happens, Soul Muncher's going to flash over the wave. Can't find the Heartbreaker. Ooh. Is able to take the shutdown to the tower, but he's taking it up. Can't make his way out of there. Charm's going to get used into the tower. Bigsby taking a lot of damage with Ghost. The heated up tower. Now back to the bot lane. Chompers not going to land. It's going to go into Lulu there. Zealous Valor makes the right of the play there. Trey has the rocket. It's not enough. Yes, Parade. One shot needed, and the rocket isn't there. The zap isn't there. Trey can't find the target. And 2 low HP bars for LFA, but they make it out.
Oh, that was so close. That was such a huge opportunity for GCE to get back into this game. But Miami was so close to getting 2 kills there, just barely not getting it. A perfect E from the Lulu to save Kaisa. And they will get a couple plates for this, but very well done on the side of Miami Vice to just get some sort of pressure and get something back here while making up for the fact that this goalie is so big. But Noto coming in here is now losing to Ori. Yeah.
Anything in this game. It's so sad when you're in these kind of games as Yone. It just, you have to kind of wait until you scale. You have to wait until your 2 items where you've got that 100% crit rate. Yes, Parade is top lane because Zealous Valor rotated up here. They've got the Volibear bot lane as well, trying to apply as much pressure as they can. That should mean that LFA's got their eyes set on the Herald. I really like this rotation. You see these usually often by like minimum Emerald teams or Diamond teams even, so I really like what I'm seeing, but then it's just going to be about execution as Moby White and Trey are also moving to mid lane for this Herald.
Yeah, I like it as well. The only issue that I have with it is that Volley took Ignite. Now, it did get him a kill, probably two in the top lane, but now he's not going to be able to join these fights.
Can't join these fights, and the collapse is coming around on Yes Parade. Isn't going to get locked down. Fade Seal goes wide. Yes Parade flashes away. Gets locked down by Soul Muncher. Lulu stays alive for so long. Glacial Fissure going to miss. Winner's Bite has gone wide. Polymorph has been used. Moby White's going to get locked down. There comes the Glacial Fissure with a Shockwave. Locks down 3. Bixby on the bot side of the fight. Gets caught out. Trey picks up the kill. Charm's going to land onto Yes Parade. He's going to fall. Ghosty picks up 2. Son of Zeus dodges the rocket, but not the Heartbreaker. 1 HP under the tower. You mentioned Dux is needed, and that's GCCe. They're picking up one more objective.
Yep, and this is their way back into the game. Volley has all the gold. He's all the strength of the team. No teleport, and he actually left the lane to go check out the jungle. I think he maybe took the red buff, potentially. Not exactly sure, but yeah, him not being there just gave them so much priority to do what they wanted to. And now he's going to get this turret, probably the kill on the Noto, but huge momentum swing for the side of Vice.
Away, the fear the bear. I gotta make like a sign behind me. It's just fear the bear. It seems like all bear champions always work every time I'm watching them, man. But that is an 8-1 volley bear. That's a very, very scary bear in the side lane. Yes, wasn't able to make it to the fight because of that ignite, but is able to win these lanes hard. Noto face checking, has just discovered the bear in the forest, or in the jungle, some may say, and there was a Yone on the ground there, but now he's just turned into a pile of dust and scratched tree bark as Volibear has claimed his territory in the jungle.
Yeah, he's just running enough.
Oh, he flashes into Trey. He's trying to find the kill, and Trey's gonna go down. Turret shut down. He's not tanking it quite yet. Shockwave locks down Moby and Soul Muncher for a little bit longer. Moby, one more auto is enough. Zealous picks it up, falls and traded with the tower, but Dragon's up in 4 seconds. Amethyst off the back of Ducks are just dominating this map.
Yeah, that was a crazy aggressive play, and that's what they did last week, and I'm here for it, man. I love the aggression from the side of LFA, and all Ducks just being like, I'm strong. If they're going to be around me, I'm going in. And so far, right now, it's working. The team just has to make sure that they're putting Volibear around where they want to go.
Gotta make sure that Volibear's at least able to rotate for something or pick up a bunch of towers, and finishing off that Riftmaker, starting up what I imagine is going to be the Navori as well. There's a lot of damage coming out from this Volibear, but not much else on the team you saw there. The Shockwave does a little bit of damage, but a double defensive in the inventory, at least worked on by Son of Zeus there. They picked up the first tower here. Miami Vice looking for it. They're going to lock down Ducks, but maybe not exactly what you want to do. Is that's a 10-1 bear. Not a lot that can stop him right now.
Yeah, I like the hover from the Viego doing exactly what he's supposed to do, just make sure that she can get out, that Ahri can get out safe. So good play, but now they have Ahri's overstep's gonna have to ult to get out of there as Noto's 2v1ing?
I don't know. He's gonna get shockwaved. He's so low. Fate Sealed takes Son of Zeus down half HP, but there's no damage. He finally finishes off Blade of the Rune King, but what tanks are you cutting down this game, my friend?
Not many at this rate. Yes,
Ducks has just dove the tower. He's charmed up. He can't turn off the tower. It's barely going to land, and that's 2, a double kill for the bear. Soul Muncher and Ghosty couldn't keep the bear locked down for long enough.
Man, I thought this guy was good on Gnar and Kennen, but this Volibear is also just so clean. Like, what are you going to do? Now with a Lulu hovering in his pocket, that bear is going to be unkillable. They're doing a really, really good job of playing off this momentum. LFA is just absolutely, just all Ducks is just absolutely just stomping right now, and he smells blood. He's going for more.
He smells blood. He hasn't quite claimed his territory from the top side of the jungle, as that's just the Glacial Fissure. Moby White, can you just stand beside me? Keeps Noto taking for a little bit longer. Ducks is getting CC, getting kited, but the second it stops, he's dominating. He found Moby White on the Braum. Couldn't lock him down for long enough.
Now, this is now just going to be we need to deal with this bear. But how do you deal with it? And the way you deal with it is be on the opposite side of the map of him and just clear waves, slow it down, get your picks elsewhere. The problem is he just seems to be everywhere that they want to be.
one of those games where your recommended path is appeasement. You saw how well that worked for all the countries back in Europe once upon a time. So it's not a great situation to be in here, as Soul Muncher is trying to find Son of Zeus, but too fast on the Ori. Can't quite get caught out here. 2 minutes 30 seconds left on Dragon. Otacon topside spawning up there, and they've got Volibear sitting in mid lane ready to rotate to any objective that needs to happen.
Yeah, and one thing that
Nodo is just getting caught out constantly. Uses Fate Sealed, able to get the full range on it, but that's Dux picking up the kill. Was mid lane, was ready to rotate, and one more chance to claim territory.
Yeah, and what I was gonna get to is I was gonna ask you about this the Jinx build. You know, it's been Utah's for the longest time, but they just buffed Kraken Slayer, the on-hit Jinx now. Oh,
Shockwave, Son of Zeus. He is able to use it. Locks down Ghosty for a second. Ghosty has 2 more charges on that Spirit Rush, and the towers all charged up. They gotta wait for this wave, and Dux is moving through the bot lane. Unspot on the ward. Finally gonna get spotted out. Ghosty and Moby White now have to get out of there. Can they make it out? Want no more Spirit Rush charges, and the bear is here, ready to claim territory, ready to cause problems. Glacial Fissure keeps them alive for just an extra second. That's Otacon claimed the top side by Bigsby, and it's Dux finishes off the double kill bot lane. It's just a problem. We're just a matter of when here for Amethyst to take this game.
Yeah, and it's kind of the right move. You know that Amethyst is taking the Otacon, so you want to make a play somewhere else.
Trey
Flash out and potentially
is able to cut it out for a little bit longer. The tower isn't quite heated up yet. Dux has been claimed. Shutdown is onto Soul Muncher here in the form of the bear. The Wonder Twins coming straight through. Heartbreaker keeps Bigsby locked for a little bit longer. The zap not enough. Nodo flashes through, trying to finish off the kill. Can't find it. The shield keeps Bigsby alive for just a little bit longer, but not enough. Soul Muncher gets another one. Continues going through. That's the polymorph from Lulu. Keeps him knocked up for a second. Soul Muncher has to run away. Has to wait. Can't get these HP bars down. Nodo doesn't have damage, has the Fate Sealed, but that's a pretty tanky duo there. And there's the TP from Orianna. You gotta make the play, you gotta find it. And Shockwave saves Yes Parade on the Lulu. It's a double kill for Son of Zeus.
Yeah, and if you're solo queuing right now, you are pinging that Jinx left and right. With still healthy. For some reason, I don't know what the miscommunication there was, but Jinx going backwards while the rest of the team is going forwards was really weird. They had the momentum. They could have had 4 kills there if Jinx would have just stayed with them. I don't know what the call was or why Trey decided to not go, but once you see your ADC's not there, you got to stop pressing.
I completely forgot about those Kraken Slayer changes, as anytime we check into the gold, we just get to see how much more ahead Dux is in comparison to Nodo, and just how much of the gold lead is for Amethyst in the pocket of Dux. So when Dux isn't at these fights, when they're pushing the side lanes, they've realized this and adapted well. But we saw in that first fight, when Dux wasn't there, they're genuinely down 2,000 gold if they're playing this as a 4v4, 1,000 gold. So they really have to play around their Volibear. And I checked in on those Kraken Slayer buffs you mentioned, and that's really more to help deal with the HP stacking meta that we kind of live in right now. And no one's stacking HP on the side of Amethyst, so I really, really don't like this Jinx build, because now you're delaying your Infinity Edge. You don't have a lot of attack speed on this Jinx yet, and you don't really need it. It's just a comfort thing before resets, but it's, I don't know, double crit right now. You have 50% crit. You'd have Dunetal Infinity Edge right now. It'd at least be something, but now, like, what damage do you have on this Jinx?
Yeah, it's just, I guess, the rockets, right? Like, the Runon's Hurricane does work really well with Jinx. And yeah, the Kraken Slayer, I've noticed this change coming out, and Yuntal seems to be something that people kind of want to get away from.
It's boring.
Yeah, it is. It is. It takes forever to stack up, and Voli is eyeing his next victim, which is this Ahri in the bot lane. You see him hovering over in the jungle, looking like he wants to either get a pick or kill the Ahri, and we'll see which one comes up first.
He's just living in there like it's his own jungle, moving on through. It's all warded up for Amethyst. You can hear the Jaws theme maybe playing in the back of your head there as we just watch the map. We watch it happen. Can the stun come through? The TP's blocked up. Ghosty has to get out with the Spirit Rush. The fight's been started top lane to try and make an advantage of that. Ghosty, 3 charges through. Dux continuing. The train can't stop. He has to try and dive out of the tower. Can't close the distance quite yet. Tower's not stopped. Charm is going to get used, but that damage! The AP Volibear has found his target and claimed his kill.
That is a lot of summoners spent. The ult was spent, the flash, the teleport got canceled, like everything still couldn't get away from him. Unfortunate for Ghosty on this Ari. Almost got away, but just not enough. That bear is so strong.
Bear is so strong and so scary, and with that being said, that means Baron's gonna get started up here. It's spotted out. They know exactly what's going on. So much has Flash, has the Heartbreaker on the Viego, but is answering to the Volibear. It's 7,000 left on this Baron. Bigsby and the rest of LFA trying to rush this down, trying to make it so that way they don't have to work on the 50-50. Noto's going to stall up for just a little bit time. Now Soul Muncher is here, getting chased down by the bear, and Dux is here, is ready to go through. The Shockwave gets the double kill to Lulu. Volibear picks up one last kill. Baron resets with a fight for Amethyst.
Yeah, now he's hunting down this Viego. This is 100% a free Baron for LFA. Really well played by them. They stalled it out. They didn't try to rush it down or anything. They knew it was coming. They wanted to wait. And like you said earlier, when they're playing with the Volibear, they're at a 5k gold lead. When they're not, they're actually 2,000 down. So very well done by LFA to just sort of stall that out, wait for their team to get there, and then the shockwave on the Volibear was huge. Very well played, and here
you can't get away. He's gonna get locked under the tower. Soul Muncher is standing under their own turned off tower, unable to save their AD carry. He might die too. Volibear's just tanking up the tower. The Braum stacks can't finish up while he's under there. He's not taking any damage. Noto's here. Dux is in a true 1v4 right now against the tower as well, and is able to claim the tower, claim the kill. Noto, Moby White, Soul Muncher all low. Now Jinx lands the zap. He's slowed down. Moby White able to get the stun through on the Braum now. Dux, low HP, can't fall. Jinx Rocket finds it. It's a big shutdown. Claimed here by Trey. Spun up, ready to go. Can't find any more. The zap doesn't slow down. Yes, Parade. Soul was finished up by LFA as well. So everyone so tanky on this team. It takes forever just to kill the full AP Volibear.
Yeah, and that is kind of what you want, though. You want that catch from the Jinx onto the Volibear. Good job by Trey coming up and locking him down and then making the call to go. Like, we may die here, but we need this shutdown on the Jinx to get it as, Moby is.
Moby White has been found, the depth charge locking him through, and you cannot escape. There's other members on this LFA team besides Dux, who've been just farming, who have been catching every little bit of scrap falling from Dux's plate, and they're ready to start spreading around the map. Noto has been the consistent target of these plays, as well as he's just caught out once again in the side lane. The gold's reset too from that Jinx play, so that's 300 back in the pocket of Zealous Valor.
Yeah, and a really, really good sidestep, some little fancy feet there. As we do see a collapse coming in on the mid lane here,
trying to find some Zeus. Ghosty can't find that charm, has to continue through. Burns the flash in order to get out of the play. Bigsby has met up with the rest of them. Rockets used. Yes, Parade makes it out with their life. And the tower's been being pushed. Volibear stuck in the mid lane. It's a 1-4 here for LFA.
Yeah, man, that was a good, clean... get the turret, get the tier 3 turret, and then just move on. Don't overextend. And now Volley has shown up, level 18. This is going to be almost impossible to defend this.
It's nigh impossible, and they're trying to do it there. Bigsby getting low. Yes, Parade, pretty low. They don't quite have the CDs yet. You gotta wait on depth charge up in a second. Gotta wait for this killer instinct here from Kaisa. About 10 seconds on it. Bigsby holding on to that hook. They can take out 2 inhibs if they really want to, but if they want to go for the end, they can also use these minions here. As little split focus, depth charge is going to get used. It's locked down on a Noto, and the shockwaves through. Dux turned off the tower. That's a threat. There is no backline left for Miami Vice just after the bear pressed 1 button. It's a double kill for Bigsby and Son of Zeus. It's the game for LFA. Miami Vice fall to the bear.
Hell yeah. That's a clinic on top lane. Really, really well done by all Ducks. He has been on a tear. If he was an MVP for week 1, I mean, after that, it's going to take a lot. That takes a lot of your mental when you just get pushed around on a comfort champ in the Yone for Noto and just getting stomped by that bear. That was impressive. Well played for all of LFA, even the rest of the team. The Oriana was a little bit behind from the Ari. The Ari had 2 kills, was 2-0 at one point, now 3-5 at the end of it. And just holding on and playing smart and letting all ducks do what he does. And that was get an advantage, press the advantage, and then take the objectives and just move around the map together. Really well done by LFA. That was very, very impressive for game one.
Very impressive game one here from LFA. The plan that needs to come through from Miami Vice. How do we stop all ducks on me? How do we contain them? Because it doesn't matter what champion it seems like that they put them on, because they can ban out 2 champions that they're really good at. They can ban out that Kennen, and this absolutely dominant performance we saw last week carries over still on to the Volibear. It's just about playing and adjusting to it. 20 kills on this Volibear. That's the name of the game here. Miami Vice, can you solve the bear? For LFA, can you lock out through the series? Thank you everyone for watching game one. Game two starting shortly here as we got to wait for this draft. We'll see you then.
I'm walking alone, the streets are empty. The only thing I can see is my own silhouette. I'm getting stronger, step by step. The clock is ticking, but there's no time for regrets. I've been flying from town to town, from London to Taiwan. I've been all around the globe, trying to protect your soul. We are heroes tonight. We will fly above the sky. We are heroes tonight. Yeah. We are heroes tonight. We will fly above the sky. We are heroes tonight. Feel like a dynamite, ready to explode right up in the sky. I need you to listen, I need you to hear, and don't show any fear. I've been flying from town to town, from London to Taiwan. I've been all around the globe, trying to protect your soul. We are heroes tonight. We will fly above the sky. We are heroes tonight. Yeah. We are heroes tonight. We will fly above the sky. We are heroes tonight. I've been flying from town to town, from London to Taiwan. I've been all around the globe, trying to protect your soul.
We are back here, draft 2. Sorry for the long wait as we get into this draft pretty quickly. Maybe more surprising picks, the Nautilus Jungle from last game. Fun to see the Jinx doing well, enough at least in B1, but hopefully not going to have to see another one of those. Reminder, I believe this isn't Fearless. Correct me if I'm wrong. This is not Fearless, so every champion's still available, especially that Volibear. So you got to find a way to deal with that if you're GCCe.
Yeah, I don't know what the draft is really going to matter if All Ducks plays like that again. But we'll see what they can do. We did see that there was a couple times where Miami did come back and get some shutdowns, get some momentum swings back in their way. But then, just a little bit too much of a lead on the top side. It's kind of the same thing as last week where LFA is just relying on that top lane and just do what he does. As we see two bans coming out that way, they do leave open the Gnar this time. So we'll see if LFA goes back to it.
Yeah, the Gnar is open. I don't know if you want to do that on B1 there, but another champion that didn't get banned is the Inara. Looked phenomenal last week. And it's a champion that's so hard to stop, so much self-peel, lots of mobility, and really high damage compared to, especially a good comparison, Launch Zeri. If you remember just how oppressive that champion was. Pretty much the exact same thing here now, but with even more damage, and it's not a skill shot.
Yeah, and we see the answer is the Ashe, which is that's expected. I might have liked to seen a Braum with the Ash, but a Nautilus can be just as good unless we're going to see that Nautilus into the jungle again, just on the other side. We'll see, but the Rakan for the Yunara, a lot of peel, engage, a lot of safety net, some heal. Everything that you want out of a support is the Rakan, so except range. But and a Syndra in the mid lane.
You might not have
Here.
range in the Rakan, but you can approach pretty easily. And of course, it does decently into the Nautilus just because you have the ability to kind of get out of that dredge line range. Ari back on the hands of Ghostly, or I believe it's still Ghostly, but into Syndra, not ideal. Scatter the Weak is a really good tool to deal with the Spirit Rush from Ari, so not going to be a great situation here for if you're Miami Vice. You've got an immobile, lower damage 80 carry, and a highly mobile, but also still kind of low damage mid laner. You're kind of strapped for damage, and Zach and Gnar off the table, both targeting Ducks on me. And
It's
top lane also getting targeted out. It's just a top lane centric game here, it seems.
Yeah, this is 5 bans going that way. I assume that they're gonna leave the counter pick to Noto in the top lane as well. I did like the Ari in the first game. It just when you're that far behind, there's not much you can do. You know, we saw in the mid game where the Ori for LFA would get a good shockwave off, hit 3 people, and do a third damage. And we are gonna see the Nautilus in the jungle again as the Renata comes out. Which is going to be good for turning fights around and keeping people alive and just allowing somebody to get as much damage as they can. If they don't get the kill, you see whatever they can get out of it. As we see the Jarvan coming in for LFA, looks like they're going to be going in for some long range engage. I'm excited to see this comp play out here as the top lane is going to be rounded out now.
Oh, it's going to be routed out, and it's the Abessa coming through from Ducks on Me. Looked phenomenal on the Volibear. Something with a little more mechanics coming through. Going to see just how that works, especially into the Cho'Gath. Able to stabilize a lane very well. The silence, very long, very hard for Abessa to deal with. And J4 has a lot of targets here to go through with the Cataclysm, but maybe Cho'Gath could be the difference maker there. As you trap a Cho'Gath in there, you might be stuck with him as well. But the immobiles, especially the Astronaut, are going to be struggling into this champion.
Yeah, I actually really like the Cho'Gath pick. We were talking about this off air a little bit ago. I want to see Noto on a tank. We haven't seen it yet from the first week and into today. Cho'Gath is really good at just sort of balancing it out. You can damage him a lot if he can get under his turret and just last hit minions and just get his health back and his mana back. Can perma slow. The silence will stop a lot of her jumps around. I wouldn't be trying to queue her that much if Dux's mechanics are as clean as they've been. On a champ like Ambessa, this could be really, really impressive from him.
It's going to be a big game here, especially honestly, if you're looking at Miami Vice, one game here, it's a best of 3, so you got to stay alive with this comp, and I don't see a lot of damage coming out. We're going to be starting up with that game here quickly. Nautilus on the field again. Going to see exactly if they can make it work. Soul Muncher has it back in their hands, has taken it away from Bigsby, and Bigsby on the J4 here. Maybe you don't want to start the hook like you mentioned, but you can always threaten it.
Yeah, and I would have liked to have seen a little bit better of an invade. I like the idea of moving his 4, potentially 5, trying to get an invade off. I would have liked to have seen them go kind of where all Ducks is. Maybe try to get something onto the top laner here, burn the flash, burn something, maybe even get a kill. A little more aggression. The mid lane roam is usually better for the blue side because they can go into the blue side of the red side jungle. I guess that's a lot of colors mix and matching, but here we go. We're going to see the first little skirmish.
Just a little bit. You don't want to deal with level 1 Ashe, even if you are Yanara, who is honestly a very strong level 1 champion that Q'st, once it's stacked up, it's 120 damage in auto. It also has that kind of chain lightning effect that the Volibear autos have, that Zeri has with her ultimate, so you don't want to deal with that, but Ashe can do it pretty well, especially, so maybe not wanting to deal with it too much. Otherwise, though, jungle's starting about where you expect them to be. So we are in it for the long haul. Blue side got beautiful vision this game, though.
Yeah, it's a really good start. I like that Jarvan started off with the sweeper. They were able to sweep that. They have no no idea where he's at right now, so everybody kind of has to play passive, a little safe. And we do see kind of a standard what you would expect level 2 coming in for the top laners here. Very slow start, which is going to be really good for Miami Vice. I think that they can make good use out of this. They hit level 2 early in the bot lane. Not too much out of it, though.
Not too much out of it. You got to respect that Ashe being able to lock you down here. And Nodo, for a change, has got to push up in top lane, and Bessa really requires her abilities to get wave clear through. Ghosty and Son of Zeus, no strangers to fighting. Electro Cute getting traded out. Ghosty going to go on top of that trade. Ari's specialty, and definitely wants to find that abuse before you really have to deal with those constant scatter combos.
Yeah, and you alluded to it. And this is oh, okay, and this is a good example. You have 3 waves that are pushing in. I like the tempo change with this draft. They're definitely playing it better. If they can keep this pressure up, they can maybe keep LFA from getting every single objective early on in this game. Yeah, I definitely like the way that this is going, at least early game.
It's a double knockup. It's hard to follow. Trey, though, spent so much mana. Level 3's been dinged. Yetfray doesn't have the grand entrance there it used earlier, so no fight. Handshake makes sure of that, too. Yetfray does want to find something. He's just going to find the heal. Trey's in a bad situation. You mentioned them being able to play safe and farm, but spending a lot of mana like this can be an issue. Trying to fix that situation. Flash is used by Zealous Valor Parade. Going to be able to use the dash to get away from the Nautilus. Can't lock him down for long enough. But again, still burns the flash.
Yeah, and Renata had a chance to, if she would have landed that Q, pull him back, would have been just out of range. But still, good play. You do get flash for flash, and now top lane is where the action is.
Nodo has it as well. The flash has been followed. Dux didn't even expect it either. Nodo makes it out of the play. Bigsby with a good prediction there. Burns the flash as well. And the green light is on for Soul Muncher, but can't quite abuse people under their tower.
No, not yet. Not yet. And really, really well done by the J4. If he would have just maybe calm, just go, or something. Ooh, flash out of the Ashe now.
Lots of plays already. If you look at the side of Miami Vice or GCCe, no Cho'Gath flash, no Nautilus flash, and no flash on the Ashe. Really does struggle there, and Ducks on Me starting to abuse those trading patterns from Mbessa. You can get aggressive with that shield from the W. You can tank the waves and some of the champion damage you're gonna have to take as well, and it just makes it so much easier. But Cho'Gath has that passive sustain. They're able to stay in lane for just a little bit longer, especially compared to a Yone.
Yeah, and really well done by Zeus right there. You know, you land that QE onto the Ahri, and that kind of like stifles her whole plan. And really well done by the Syndra to be able to keep this this lane sort of even. Actually, out CSing Ahri, even though Ahri has the push, the CS difference is well in Syndra's favor here.
Well, they're just trading. They're doing what top laners do. It's a lot more calmer of a game, especially when you compare it to last game. First blood's not found yet, but it's going to be on a Soul Muncher here. He's caught him in the tower, but the trap has been set. Bigsby and Parade, the targets of Miami Vice's trap. Parade can't quite get out of there in time, and the bailout's being used aggressively. Soul Muncher stays alive, can't take damage. It's 2 on the board for Miami Vice.
Outstanding play by Miami Vice. This is exactly what I wanted to see from this team, controlling the objective instead of letting LFA do it like they've been doing. Really good call. Whoever made that call to say, let's just go, like kudos to them. Perfect play, and now they're going to follow it up here.
They're going to try and go for the mid lane. Son of Zeus can't get away from the charm. Soul Muncher can't close the distance either, so it's just a flash. But Ghosty beautifully uses that level 6 timer.
And I'm excited to watch Trey with a 2-kill lead here. We haven't seen that yet in any of his games where he's been playing ADC really well. Never had a lead like this, so this could be what separates this game from the rest of the ones that we've seen on him. Let's see how he uses it.
turn into a little bit more here. Trey's got those slow autos. Valor's trading it back perfectly fine. The recurve bow matching up against the longsword somehow. But still not the end of the world. And Ghosty can't make it through Unleash Power. The stat check comes through from Syndra, and the advantage starting to tilt a little over into the favor of LFA.
Yeah, you got the flash. You know that he reset. All you had was a Doran's Ring. I don't know why Ari didn't decide to do this earlier. Could have saved themselves a death and would have been able to keep at least a little bit of a lead there. I know you're down on CS, but giving away a kill is never the way to make it up.
No, it is not. You gotta really respect Syndra, especially one that's farming that well. Son of Zeus is, what, 9 CS a minute right now, matching up with Dux there in the top lane, as well as Nodo. Everyone else on the map kind of seeming to struggle. Junglers, we don't care about jungle farm. Nah, that's not a thing. Now back to top lane. Dux has the dash, has the flash, can't get out of there. The knock-up combo, beautifully done. Dux, silence, locked down, but not enough. Flashes away from the aura, but summoner blow there. Nodo and Soul Muncher.
This is more than likely going to be at least 2 of these growths going to the side of Miami Vice. They are playing this tempo game really, really well. I like the fact that they realized, hey, we got to go for these grubs. Renata rotates while Rakan just sort of sits in the bottom. They don't get the kill on the Ashe. And now you're seeing why supports like to roam so much and why this meta is so good for supports that do like to roam. It's the Ashe arrow coming out.
Could be abused here, at least in the 1v1. Zealous has a lot of damage now. Back to the top into the mid lane. Ghosty burns the Spirit Rush to get away from the Grand Entrance. Yes, Parade couldn't quite find it. Bigsby can't get the Cataclysm range in time. Ghosty still in Spirit Rush anyway. So I'm almost glad here for LFA not burning that key ultimate 2 minutes before the next objective though. And Charm's gonna find Syndra. Ghosty keeping up the play. Grand Entrance not found. Force the Ghost. He has to flash. He's in the bailout. Zealous Valor doesn't have the damage. Can't deal with it. It's Feat of Warfare claimed by a Miami Vice off the back of Trey.
Yeah, now it's 3-0, so now we're seeing a different tale in this game where the bot lane for Miami Vice is almost as far ahead as the top lane was last game. I really, really like this Ashe pick. It's doing very well for Trey, and now he's going to be caught out here. Unfortunate.
It's unfortunate. It's the life of 80 carry. I imagine if we take a look at Ashe's inventory, because I don't think I've been seeing them too well, there's 2 hawk shots sitting there. So he definitely probably could have looked for vision, but still got the kill. 3-1 on the board. A really early Kraken Slayer too here for the Ashe. It's really going to be a problem throughout this map.
And I know that this is an unpopular opinion, but I have always liked the Kraken Slayer / on hit for Ashe. I think it works really, really well with her kit. I know everybody likes the crit for the extra slows and stuff, but it does do a lot of damage. It's the one more wave mentality, right? Like, okay, one more wave, then I'll back. Knowing that the play was just mid, Ashe 100% could have gotten out of that without dying by just backing up, but a little bit of greed, you know.
This is keeping up this trade going for a long time at a Nodo. Nodo's quite tanky though, can very well manage in this situation now. Lots of HP on the board for them.
Yeah, and this is what we were talking about in the
the arrow and the hook. No, Miami Vice trying to find the play into Zealous Valor. Didn't burn a single summoner spell. Tap dancing shoes on there.
Yeah, but you know the play was there. The mechanics didn't happen, but the call was right. You want to get prio for this dragon. You know they're almost there. Nodo playing a lot safer on this Cho'Gath than he was on the Yone. Looking pretty good, making Dux look like a human this game. You know, it's 11 minutes in and he's 0-0-0. So this will be interesting to see if this continues, as Dragon is now the next objective. We do have a TP from the Cho'Gath. We'll see if they want to use it or if they just want to go 4 for 4 here with the Ashe in a huge lead.
This is going to be a big problem, but there's still the problem of the Syndra in mid lane. Bigsby and Soul Muncher starting up the trade there, and that's a lot of damage on the Soul Muncher. Getting continued on the charm. He's going to go wide from Ari. Ari can't stop this. Depth charge has been used, He cannot kill Bigsby. He's too tanky on there. And now the hostile takeover goes wide. Bigsby had to flash away. Yes, Parade's going to go through. No quickness. Just the grand entrance has been used. Ghosty out of there with the Spirit Rush. Trey's in the bot lane of the fight. HP bar is not quite an advantage of LFA, but they got the numbers. Son of Zeus feeling this fight well. Ghosty looks for one more charm. Is able to find it. Moby White can't capitalize. No handshake used. Lots of damage found once again, but no kills in favor of Miami Vice here, as the dragon should fall in the hands of Amethyst.
Yeah, it does, and a huge misplay here by Moby. No W on the Nautilus. Like, that was a kill if you W that Nautilus. I don't know what happened and why it wasn't used, but to me, like, that's one of those things you have to hit that. But, you know, good play by Amethyst to just sort of realize that they had a small advantage there, and they take it, cleanse.
He's used. Now Trey's going to get turned on. Quickness is through. Greeting for the two-man knockup. Zealous Valor's taking a lot of damage. Finally, not enough. Parade not getting the knockup in time, and Moby White can't run down, yes, Parade, but Zealous Valor pays with their life.
Right, and that's what I wanted to see, right? Ash with the lead. I want to see Trey with the lead. This is very well done. The Hawk Shot goes out. Will not see the Jarvan, but I don't think Jarvan can 1v2 this. Maybe just clear the wave and get them out of there. Trey getting a big lead now. We see that he is almost 1,400 gold over this Yunara on Ash, who can be a hyper carry in their own right, too. Nodo trading well with Aldux as well.
Aldux doesn't quite have the items that they need yet in their inventory to start fighting like this. They've got Eclipse, but Nodo finished off that Heartsteel, so any fight you're taking like this is going to benefit the Cho'Gath. And I wonder if we can check in on those stacks from Cho'Gath, because a big important thing to always keep in mind is those ultimate usages on minions. You get 6 free charges on it. On minions, you can see 2 have already been used. Well done there by Nodo, who's been doing their homework there. 1 on epic monsters, 1 on minions. You get 5 more minions for 160 HP. And you gotta make sure they're claiming those epic monsters. And you can get a really tanky Cho'Gath. All of a sudden, Ducks 20-0 on that Volibear. It's getting stopped now. Soul Muncher, though, stuck up with the Cataclysm and unleashed power too much from Son of Zeus. There is Nautilus is caught out on the roam, or on the invade, more like it. Trey doesn't have the Crystal Arrow yet.
Yeah, and a little bit of a maybe late ult by the Nautilus. Maybe if he would have ulted earlier, Ghosty could have ulted over, and maybe they could have 2v2'd that. But, you know, well done. Good call by LFA. Just kind of get the Nautilus there and just be like, hey, he can't be here. As Arrow does come in now.
No cleanse on Zealous Valor. He's getting locked down. He's able to get out with the quickness from Rakan. Son of Zeus can take a lot of damage mid lane. That was Spirit Rush used by Ghosty, though. A lot's been used here around the map. Syndra doesn't have ultimate to respond in kind. G4 is walking mid lane. There is flash on Ghosty there, and here comes the ultimate from Ghosty. Bigsby doesn't have it either. Zeus doesn't quite have the damage. Ghosty just flashes away out of damage, and he's through. Cataclysm wasn't up yet like I was anticipating. So it's a live Ahri here. Parade trying to look for the dive there. Trey going to take a tower shot, but they're doing a lot of damage.
Yeah, and letting the Rakan hit the Q. I hate that. You know, good job by the spot lane to just keep this pressure, and J4 can't sit down here all game. He does have other objectives to get as the Rift Herald is about to pop, and we see Ahri, everybody else is moving towards this. Meanwhile, Syndra has to back without TP. This might be a 3v2 here on the top side of this top. It's just so...
They're getting ran down. Towers going already. Miami Vice claimed out the tier 2 booth. Here comes the hostile takeover to Parade. Can just barely make it out of there in time. But still a good look from Moby White. Pushes away the bot lane in a full tower claimed by this Ashe. She's starting to become a problem.
Yeah, she is. And if they would have noticed that they were going to take that, they could have gotten a double kill there. But now
Bigsby's
a little bit...
Yeah, Bigsby's top bot lane. They predicted the flash. The public execution is used along with the Cataclysm. 2 ultimates for none, but the flash from Nodo isn't enough to make it out of here. Can Miami Vice try and abuse those ultimate cooldowns?
They might be able to, but as of right now, you have a level 9 Nautilus going up against this Syndra here, and they are about to collapse on him so hard.
Soul Muncher, you're not tanky either. He's gonna face plant into the wall. Depth charge keeps alive for a little bit longer. Bailout's been used. Soul Muncher staying alive for a little bit longer. They're trying to time it, not quite able to bail out. 1 more second, not enough damage. Enchanted Crystal Arrow's gonna land on DS Parade. He's 1 shot, but able to make it out of there. 1 more flag and drag to the tower. Trey is safe There's no ultimates. Now Ghosty is here, has a Spirit Rush, trying to find the first one. Here start to come through the resets. They've got the Malignants too, but they're just going to opt away. They know they don't have the numbers. Oh, no, Trey, he's been caught out. He's gone. Zealous Valor finish it off. Moby White's running away. Bailout's going to be used on them. Ghosty going to fall. Not able to get out of there with the Spirit Rush combo. LFA have just out-team fought their way through this. They fought back, and they're in a handed advantage.
Yeah, what a huge gain for them too. And Moby once again, the W landing on himself instead of the Ashe. They could have turned that. This Renata is just glimpses of greatness, and then just some real big mental miscues. W on the wrong person, and then not using it, and then ended up using it on yourself when you're already like safe. But if Renata can clean this up and get some better Ws, then they could turn these team fights around a little bit better. This Ashe is really, really far ahead. You have to play to it. You have to keep that Ashe alive no matter what.
It's true, but there's only so many more of you have to get that bailout right before it becomes a you should have gotten this bailout right and you've lost the game for your team. You only got a couple more of those left in the tank. I feel like you do at least. Noto's rotating down. They understand how important this third dragon is. Moby White's gonna have to flash out of the grand entrance from Yes Parade. So already big cooldown's been bought there. Moby White hasn't been used. 2 stacks from Feast here from Noto. Waiting for that cooldown. Is gonna have it here for this Hex Tech. Nope. Don't tell me I got this. Chemtech Dragon. There we go. I don't know why I couldn't remember it. But Chemtech Dragon is on the map. Is pretty important, honestly, for both of these teams. They've got a lot of healing, a lot of shielding themselves, and that even though, it's an empowered, it's still like an extra 8% on your own personal heals and shields. Soulmuncher misses the misses the hook, and the tower is going to fall there. Ghosty's on the flank of this fight.
Missed opportunity for the Cho'Gath to ult the Rift
that's
Herald
true.
there too.
Probably saving it for
Ashe Herald
Dragon.
is-
Oh, field goal claim plus 3 points, but a good dock up from Noto. He's gonna get stopped by the scatter, and that's a beautiful hostile takeover. Shutdown's been claimed here by Noto. They're trying to run through. Yes, Brain's gonna be able to predict the spear rush into the tower. Ghosty stays alive. He's gonna get eaten by the public execution. There's a bailout on there. They can't find the kills, and here comes Yanara and Dux on this duo. The dynamic duo are coming straight through. Soulmuncher can't peel anything. Moby White's on the run. There's nowhere for you to go. Miami Vice have been split in half and cut down. Amethyst are taking this team fight.
Oh, such a good setup and such a good play by Noto there to use. I mean, like, you missed the ult on the Rift, but he got it on the champion, and really good Q to knock 3 of them up. It stopped the W from the Rakan. Looks like they should have won that fight. Maybe if the maybe if the arrow was still available for Ashe there, they could have been able to take that. But you know, Moby White again, W, in my opinion, the wrong character there. It can't be on Ghosty. It has to be on the Ashe, who can do all the sustained damage after Ghosty's ult was already used. So, you know, the Renata pick is good. You have to be able to use it correctly, as they're about to get flanked over here by this Jarvan potentially.
Get flanked by this Jarvan. I'm not quite sure what Bigsby is doing here. Yeah, Ghosty.
Yeah.
I'm like, I didn't even want to say anything. I was like holding my breath. Maybe they were gonna realize what's going on, but they couldn't quite do it in time.
Yeah, and now we see Moby's doing okay here, but here comes the Jarvan, and do they end up going on the Ashe? Nope.
They found Moby. There comes the hostile takeover just to keep you alive for a little bit longer. Bailout hasn't timed out perfectly, but still, Moby White's just picked off. It's garbage time, kind of. Otacon's up bot side, and that's all the calls here. They're moving on to Otacon. It's not garbage time either. Amethyst gets something.
Yeah, it was a good play. They knew that they were up there. They had used the 2 the Vision scrying orbs, and they knew they were there, but they did not rotate. They did not. This side of Miami Vice didn't really do anything, knowing that Ari had just gotten killed. But there's no business being there. You know that that's not a safe place to be. So a little bit of a misplay, but you know they still can come back. You still have this Ashe who's 5-3. Does have the Runons finished up, and they're just gonna have to play around that and picks. Meanwhile, Cho'Gath is also, you know, pretty big. Ambessa has now gotten her kills, what she wants and stuff. But yeah, this will be interesting to see where they go from here. If they can start team fighting the way that they have been, but they sort of got away from.
Here's a big issue now. Since Dux is so fed on this Ambessa, you cannot get away. And Shady Crusader is going to miss there. Naka's going to be found. Here comes the bouncy houses onto Ambessa. Depth charge has been used as well, and he's just not able to move. Nodo picks up the shutdown. The chomp has been used, plus 160 on that HP. Yes, Parade, I like what you're looking for, but the missed execution. Trey stays alive.
Yeah, that was a weird flash. I think that his idea of what was going to happen was a little different than what actually happened. But I like the idea of it. Just sometimes the mechanics just don't match up with what's in your head.
Yeah, he's been pretty good with the grand entrance predicts, the W predicts, most of the time. But there have been some that I've like, damn, that works. That's crazy. Here's another one. Beautiful two-man knock up into the quickness. The hook's going to go wide. Here comes the Cataclysm. And the Berserk Zealous Valor does a little bit damage, but he has the cleanse, so it's okay. Soul Muncher goes down in a second. Double kill's been claimed by Yes Parade and Zealous Valor. Triple kill onto Zealous. He's shut down finally by Nodo here on the TP. Moby White's still alive. Bailout was already used, I believe. One more knock-up, one more silence. Parade has to get out of there. He's trying to make it out. Nodo has flash, has chomp. He's going to use it. One more meal, plus 160. It's a very hungry Cho'Gath. And here comes Dux. Been the target of everything that we've talked about throughout this series, but not able to continue through on that play. It's 3 for 2. It's in favor of Amethyst, but Nodo got 300 HP off that fight.
Yeah, they're really well played. Moby is going to watch this VOD and just kick himself over and over again. Another chance to use that bailout and just misses it again, unfortunately. But really good play by Nodo. Good flank on the TP to come in and sort of just salvage what was just unlucky getting caught out in the mid lane there. And lucky for Moby is Ambessa missed her ult by pixel. Otherwise, that would be a dead Renata as well.
Be disastrous here for Miami Vices. They've been just holding on by a thread with that early game advantage now, but you can see the mid jungle from Miami Vice really struggling to get their foot in the door. Excuse me. Nautilus, that weird jungler, found success last game. This game, much squishier on this champion and not able to be that frontliner that Miami Vice really needs quite yet. They need to finish up this next item and probably the half of the next one. Usually you see that off the Maokais as well, where they're not tanky until 3 items. Then they're a true tank and they have damage, but until then they're kind of nothing. They're somewhat damagey and somewhat tanky, but
Yeah, I'm not exactly sure what the build is supposed to be, but I really don't like the re-entries on a Nautilus. You got to go with something that's going to be more just soak up damage, right? That's your job. You have a Cho'Gath, you have an Ashe, you have your Ahri to do damage, you have Renata's ult for them to do damage to themselves. I don't really understand the Leandries, but I could be wrong. I don't like it.
Kind of help. I think it's supposed to help your clear speed, but that increased monster damage on your E is what's supposed to do that instead. So I'm also not a fan of it. Bigsby's gonna face check the Nano Brush, but literally everything's gonna go wide. Naka's been found on a Bigsby. Trey free autoing in the back line. Lots of damage coming from the Syndra here. Bigsby's through, flashed away by Trey. There's no one in the Cataclysm. The hostile takeover finds no one either. Nodo is on a rampage, picks up Bigsby, but the quickness keeps them locked down. Zealous Valor's untouched in the backline, and Dux is in Miami Vice's backline. It's a triple kill for Zealous, and Dux found one there too. It's Ghosty stuck alone. Hooray, not able to find the quickness, and that's an Ahri making it out with their life. Never mind. Here comes Syndra. One more to finish off the ace. Amethyst pick it up 5 for 1.
Oh, once again, the bailout used on the Nautilus. I don't know if I could drive that point home. Maybe I'll just stop talking about it at this point, but just Ashe is your carry. Ashe is all of your damage. You have to bail out the Ashe. Even at full health, she can die so quickly to this Ambessa and Syndra and Yunara. All 3 of them can just kill Ashe so quickly. Gotta start using the bailouts on this Ashe. And that fight is completely turned around.
Also, it's a sad thing to say, but it's down to mechanics too. Everything but the Cho'Gath knockup going wide on the face checking J4. It's just tragic. It's one of those times where I'm not a fan of bringing up mechanics as like the thing that you have to fix to help a play, but sadly, it's one of those points where that hook needs to land. If you're not confident in the hook, start with the depth charge. There's so little range between you and J4 that's gonna go off before they can realize it. Um, and maybe that picks an advantage too, but I really also need to see them start trying to peel harder for this Ashe because she needs to deal damage. But like this, look, she's alone. Saunter and Ghostly are stuck up in the top side of that jungle too. Renata's pushing wave. Trey's just on their own, and it's a rough situation. Baron's being started.
All right, and now there's no Ashe ult, so what are they going to end up doing here? Do you give this Baron and take the tier 2, or do you try to do a 50-50 smite, or what here?
Oh, Moby's gonna get caught out by Scatter, has to run away. Public Execution was used, Trey got out of that as well. But now Baron, untested Soul Muncher, far away. No Blast Plant, no Flash, not able to make it. Hostile Takeover's late too. They know this cooldown's gone, so they're smelling blood going through. Scatter, quickness, grand entrance have been found. Trey's kiting forward, he's frontlining, and he's been punished. Gonzalez Feller is unstoppable on this Yanara. 11-3-4, flipping the script. It was top lane last game, now it's the bot side of the map. Amethysts are all around.
Yeah, they're extremely well played by Amethyst there. They get the Baron that they want. They give the tier 2 bot lane. They planned on that. Really well played and great spacing from the Yunara and Ashe over on the front line. That's going to be another just, picking yourself after this game is over, where you're just like, man, this is where we lost it. And Nautilus again being the beneficiary of the bailout and just not able to do anything with it, as it looks like they're going to try to make something up here. Did they overstay? We'll see.
Flash is going to be found. It's the
Arrow
hook
as well.
onto Bigsby. Ash Arrow lands on the right target this time. The silence, the root, he can't get out. Yes, pray the first target to go. Now Dux on the backline. Has public execution too. Here comes Bigsby, locks him in the Cataclysm. He has to flash away. Dux and me calls away from the play. They see some of Zeus in the top lane here, getting the split push on. So a fight is won in mid lane, 2-0 here in favor of Miami Vice, but they lost their top tier 2 tower.
They did, but that's 2 big kills, and like now they get to push here. As long as Aldux doesn't get this perfect flank over here, this could be really, really bad.
That hook's gonna go wide there. Scatter's gonna go through, and there goes Ashe. You can't frontline, brother. He's gone, and it's coming through with the hostile takeover, but it's too much damage. Yanara sitting in the backline untouched. Here comes, oh, never mind, untouched. She frontline for some reason. Shutdown's gonna go over to the side of Ghosty. Ducks on me, out of cooldowns, waiting for them to come back through. Noto tanking up a lot, but can he continue tanking? This Fed, Mbessa, Son of Zeus has to run away. Scatter, he can't! Noto is gone! Shutdown traded 1-for-1 on the play! Miami Vice by the skin of their teeth make it out of the play alive and in benefit.
Oh, what a play by Miami Vice. They saw it. They said they're overstaying. We have to make a play. They did the play. And then the flank from Ghosty was amazing. And the fact that Cho'Gath was able to hold off long enough to get his ult to come up and eat the Ambessa was just crazy. What a great play by them. They're back in this game. Hopefully, now they just have to kind of stop this soul from coming out on the side of LFA and then just keep playing like this. I want to see Renata get a bailout on the Ashe. I think that they are going to at least 5-for-1 something. This Ashe does so much damage.
You gotta hope for it. They've actually stopped the flag and drag. Now here come Guest Braid. Quickness and Grand Entrance have locked down the backline now. Enchanted Crystal Arrow keeps Braid stuck for a little bit longer, but they're through. It's 1 ultimate for 2. It's 1-for-1 on the ultimates, but Enchanted Crystal Arrow is a really big tool for Miami Vice. 40 seconds left on this dragon. TPs are coming through. Miami Vice have to answer Cho'Gath, or have Cho'Gath in the top lane. Amethyst have to answer it there with their own Mbessa, and now Moby White has been picked off. It's the name of the game. It's getting picked out, and Miami Vice are gone. Son of Zeus got it with the scatter of the week, and they found their target.
They did, and this is really bad now for Miami. That's a huge ult. and
Zealous
save your
just
butt.
trading it back, and even a little bit of a homie stock coming through. Support for AD carry does benefit Miami Vice. They're getting poked out though with the scatter. Ghosty, half HP. Yespray going through. His teammates were expecting it actually. Now there's not a TP quite yet, and Best has to run here. So taking time, gotta wait here. Gotta stall this fight if you're Amethyst. Cho'Gath trying to frontline, can't find anything so far. You can eat that Cinder damage pretty well. He's going to lock down Yespray just for a second. San Jose is going to be the target so far. Here's Mbessa coming through. Can't find their access on a Trey. Bigsby has helped make that happen. Ghosty's gone. Ducks on me. Found Ghosty. And here comes Syndra. The double kill is through. Amethyst finishing it off. It's technically a quadra kill if you like sharing. Sharing is caring, as you might say. Amethyst have found the just absolute fight they needed. They don't even want to start dragging. They're trying to call for the end.
In here. Yeah, and I think it's the right call. All you have left is Renata, and 30 seconds left on everybody else from this team. Worst comes to worst, you don't get it down in the time that you want, and you go back and you get the free dragon afterwards. But we'll see if Renata can do anything. She does have her ult up.
You gotta use it now. Gotta use it now. Here it comes. It's a little late. Moby White's gonna get locked to the tower. Has to flash away. Can't stall anything. Ducks or me are here and can't finish off the kill. Here come the respawns. Ghosty's up in a second here. Towers are getting tanked out. Two of them are gonna fall. We've seen this earlier today if you've been watching LTA. The base defense can't come through. Ducks on me is focusing on the Nexus. The targets are split. Moby White is still alive, is still peeling. Yes, Braid's gonna fall. Trey picked that up here. And now it's just Ducks or me. They can't figure it out. Shutdown's been claimed by Miami Vice. They got the base defense. Their mid lane completely exposed. Syndra ran away from the play. But they can start looking at these objectives. They can start trying to push away. They've got space to breathe.
Right, you said the worst case. They come back, they get the dragon, they do lose, but they do get the dragon. Off of that, the soul goes over to them, and now they, like you said, base defense. See if they can sort of just slow this down, get over to the Baron, get another team fight win, and if they can get that, they can turn this game around, and they still can win this game. They're only down 6k gold at 33 minutes in, and it looks like they're going to start the round right now.
Start off on this Baron. The death timers are pretty long. Ducks on me, 14 seconds left to come up. Bigsby is nowhere to be found. It's just uncontested. Miami Vice got their Baron. You can see the pings are starting to come through from the side of Amethyst. They have to get back in time. Miami Vice has to defend their base, so towers are going to fall. At least one in that bot lane. So more of their base crumbles around them, but they've got the worm. They've got time to stall out, especially with that next objective being 4 minutes. We've entered a time of breather.
Yeah, it should be. I mean, but everybody seems like they want to get caught out this game, so we'll see who the next culprit is. Yeah.
I mean, there's one person who isn't really been caught out yet. Zeus. No, it's Son of Zeus. Yeah. One death, 12, 1, and 14 on the Syndra is the problem.
We'll see here. Mopi's getting a little close to the Ambessa there, but Dux doesn't pull the trigger. Seems a little more hesitant this game. Maybe just because he doesn't have the huge lead that he had.
He doesn't have 20 kills.
Yeah, so they've evened it out a little bit. This is a really, really close game at this point now, and it's anyone's next team fight could win the game with as long as these death timers are.
If you're Miami Vice, that's definitely true with this Baron up, but that means you've got a timer on that condition. Otherwise, you just have to defend here. They're using this Baron mostly to just defend, to make these waves last a lot longer. Nodo, excuse me, massive on this Cho'Gath. Something like 8,000 HP, something like that. 8 to 9,000 HP to cut through. Yanara's got the damage, Syndra's got the damage to do, but it takes a long time, and maybe you can buy time for this Ashe. Has to try, but they're defending this base as best as they can, but need time. They can't look for the engage either, because Amethyst want that.
Yeah, I'm actually kind of surprised that they didn't have Rakan pull the trigger with like a flash ult into there, knowing that Ahri was on the other side and Vessa is.
Vessa's on the side, got sniffed out on the play. Can't find it. Bigsby's gonna look through with the flag and drag. Can't get that Cataclysm through. Soul Muncher, Nodo have absolutely frontline. Some of Zeus, Zealous Valor have to get out. The hostile takeover is more than enough. It's bought enough time. Ashe is still alive. The bailout's been used, and it's on Soul Muncher once again. But the catch-out's been on to Syndra. It's a triple kill for Nodo. It's a quadra kill for Nodo. The Cho'Gath is massive.
What a play. That was amazing. That was exactly what they needed. This could be the end of the game. They have a wave with the Baron going in. That Renata ult completely saved this game. They just lined up for it. That's where you go. Thank you so much, LFA, for giving me this opportunity to make up for everything, every bailout that I missed on this Ashe. This was a crazy Renata ult to completely turn that around. What a play. And even before that, the Q onto the Jarvan to stop him from being able to just come in and lock anyone down. Crazy.
Trying to defend this. They don't have the quickness either. They just have that Grand Entrance already been used. Noto's trying to cut it down straight through. 1 second left on Bigsby. 7 seconds left on Yanara. They're focusing. They're able to lock him down for just another second. They have to focus the Nexus. Yes, Braid is still alive. Has to flash out, and it looks like Miami Vice are able to do it. They're able to punish. And the one more auto is enough. Miami Vice come back off one fight win and take the game.
Oh, right after I said it's like they were listening to me. What a game. That game was closer than 2 polar bears in a telephone booth. I love League of Legends like that. I finally get a good adage to use. Oh, man, I've been saving that one. I've been hoping for it.
I could, okay. That what a game by Miami Vice on the back foot the whole time, but finally, once it all clicked, once they got the Renata through, once Cho'Gath got tanky enough to make it through Mbessa, once they stopped getting caught before fights, it looked so easy for them. They were barely sweating in that last team fight there, and they're able to make it through, taking us to game 3 against the odds, against us on the booth here. Well, not against Fel here. My prediction's wrong. Fel, you're still up on your 2-1. But a beautiful game.
Yeah, no, that was awesome. And hopefully when they're sitting in the back, if you're playing Renata again, use it on your AD carry. Or if your mid laner is ahead, whoever's ahead, gotta use that stuff on there. Tanks are meant to die. Tanks are meant to engage, lock people up, and die. If your damage dies, then your whole team fight is lost. So hopefully they learn from that, and we get a little bit cleaner out of Moby, and that game could have went their way a lot sooner. I do like the comp. I like the picks. I like the Cho'Gath in the top to sort of, negate what All Ducks on Me has been able to do to everybody else. So at this point, like, reset. You got the win. You should be feeling good about yourself. Clean up a couple things here and there, and Miami Vice look like they have a fighter's chance.
They've got a fighter's chance, but that means we got to wait for them to prove us wrong here on the desk, which means we got to wait until Game 3's draft starts. Don't go anywhere. It'll happen, I swear, and we'll see you when it does.
I don't know what you want. Let's have a bit of fun till I downfall. My love, if you feel like I do right now, don't say you're on the run to the other side, my love. You say you wanna try, but you never do. Sugar, there's a reason why we lose. You say you wanna cry, but you never do. Sugar, there's a reason why we lose. I don't know what you want. Let's have a bit of fun till I downfall. My love, if you feel like I do right now, don't say you're on the run to the other side, my love. You say you wanna try, but you never do. Sugar, there's a reason why we lose.
And we are back for the draft here in Game 3 between GCCe Miami Vice and Little Fellas Amethyst. Coming at you quick and fast. First, we got to get these bans out of the way. These players probably not going to change too much. Maybe Yanar are going to get banned once again by Miami Vice. Maybe they're going to pick themselves. Who knows?
Yeah, I don't think they change it. I think they target ban all Ducks and they try to get him out of his like 6 champion comfort zone. But we'll see. They do take away the Trundle. That is really really scary for Bigsby to have. So standard from what we've seen bans. LFA not changing anything. The Hui, the Hecarim, and the Bully Bear going away. That's unbearable to play against.
It was unbearable to play against for Miami Vice, so they're going to keep that gone from the series. Amethyst last banning there, the Amumu, challenging maybe Jinx again, maybe trying to see exactly, what is gonna happen. Syndra gonna be the pickup. It was a problem. They struggled to deal with it throughout the entirety of that game too there. Syndra was 12-1-14 up until that last team fight there, and wasn't really the cause of the loss either, so I'm glad they took it away. But Nautilus is going to be the pick from Amethyst. Let's see if they can show exactly why we believe it's OP.
Yeah, I don't foresee a Leandre's coming out this time for the Nautilus. I don't really understand that. It almost seemed like it stifled him more than anything. The Viego coming back on the side of Miami did kind of well game 1. There was nothing you could do against that Volley Bear, so as long as they can keep all Ducks a little bit further, away from carrying, and the Ziggs for Trey, I like it. I really like the Ashe, but Ziggs is he was very clean on that in game 1 against Rivals, so good to see that come to Draven. Oof.
That is full aggression, full press forward. That tells me that more likely than not, this is just a Nautilus support, which does fine into Ziggs. You're able to chase him down pretty well, but Viego, the lock-in from Miami Vest in the jungle, I wasn't really that big of a fan of it game 1, to be honest. And the Alawi isn't banned yet, but it's going to get banned, I imagine. There it is. It's gone. Amethyst bans out the Mundo and the Alawi. They're making sure. I mean, they dealt with the Cho'Gath well up until the last team fight, and it wasn't necessarily the Cho'Gath, it was their approaches to fight. Just once they approached the fight as like a proper front to back, they had no chance of winning. They didn't have a proper tank. They didn't have all of the resources that Miami Vice had. So I don't mind that Cho'Gath is unbanned here from Amethyst, but they really are challenging Miami Vice here to really look and dig into their pockets. You need some sort of AD somewhere. It's going to be an AD top laner, heavy AD top laner, or all of a sudden you're looking at this comp as Miami Vice, and you're like, oh my god, we've got all AP in a single AD source in Viego. I don't like that.
Yeah, I think they're going to pick AD something. I really hope it's not Yone. If it is, we've seen that it just doesn't fare well into what they're trying to do. The Poppy comes out, can build the Eclipse, and can do its own its own AD damage, but more so just the lockdown, the stopping Sejuani from coming in, the Nautilus, very good play in the Shen. So this is a lot of tank on the side of GCE picked up on the back end. The Poppy Ziggs and the bot is going to be hard to deal with. I do like the pick, and the Shen into a Gangplank. This is going to be a fun matchup for the top side. How do you see that one going?
It's interesting because that means that's Diana mid into Syndra. We opted into Diana mid into Syndra, which I really, really don't like.
Well, it could be. Oh yeah, no, you're right.
I mean, unless Tobias Fate, unless Tobias Fate is on Amethyst right now playing GP mid to make this all work, which he's not. He's not doing that. He's currently asleep right now, I believe. I don't follow him too much anymore on Twitch. But regardless, the players in the game, the ones that actually matter, with that GP top lane, you can deal with Shen with the barrels and your Q. It doesn't go through the block, I believe, because I think it counts as a basic attack. That's so that way it can proc Grasp of the Undying. But Poppy is the really big kicker here. You block the Sejuani, you block the Diana, you block the Nautilus. All of the engage options from Amethyst just get stifled by that steadfast presence. But I also see Miami Vice struggling to deal damage. They have tons of burst, but is it going to be enough to get to Viego to finish them off, or is just Amethyst's frontline and Sejuani and Nautilus going to be enough?
I think a couple of entries built is going to be enough to sort of burn them down, and then they just want the elongated fights. They want to, Poppy ult, the Diana or the Draven out of the fight. Okay, and we just got word from production. We're ready for the game. Let's get this thing going. I got Miami Vice on this one. I don't know why. I feel like it.
You're flipping your prediction 2-1 during the pregame for Amethyst for Fel. I was 2-0, so my prediction's wrong already, but I'm going to double down for Amethyst with this. I like the skill lanes. Their roles and skill positions played really well. Now it's just going to be about finishing it out. You can see GP, importantly there, with those stackers underneath that HP bar, means he started barrel, so he's very aware how he's supposed to win this matchup.
Yeah, I mean, it's standard. You watch enough Baka or, as you said, Tobias Fade.
I only watch Tobias Fade. Yeah. I do not watch good GPs, man. I watch the silvers.
Yeah, it's a standard start for him there. This Draven Nautilus is going to be really interesting to see how this one goes. I like the Poppy to protect the Ziggs. Moby can do a lot of damage on this Poppy as well. It's uncanny how much damage comes out from her. So we'll see how this goes and where it starts. It does look like they're going to try to cheese bush here in the beginning. And we do see that Renegade has rejoined the team for the mid lane. It is no longer Ghosty, so it's Renegade. We'll see. He's got a redemption arc to follow here that he wants to get.
He's a redemption arc, and I like that you mentioned that Moby White has a lot of damage on this Poppy, because while, yes, you have a lot of damage on Poppy, your burst from your AD carry stops after like 2 seconds. Ziggs doesn't continue to have damage like most AD carries. So if you go in at the wrong time, all of a sudden you're stuck in there and your Ziggs like, well, man, I've used everything already, and you're just eating Draven axes for days. You can already see why I was, I don't know if it caught up on cast there, furrowing my brow, but Zealous Valor has all that they need, and the flash isn't enough. Moby White gets predicted, but Yespray doesn't have the root again. Renegade's getting engaged from Son of Zeus. It was almost okay, but the Ignite is enough. It buys time. Son of Zeus is going to flash forward. Can't quite get the damage. Renegade has the scatter, but it's going to go wide as well. Not enough damage. Both mid laners trying their best to get that first blood.
Yeah, that was very aggressive. Very, very aggressive. Now Renegade does have both of his summoners up. One thing to mention too is there's no TP on the Diana, so we're gonna have the same fate as game one, where Diana's not with the team. They're gonna be fighting without that, without a potential flank.
Without the potential flank now, Moby White's drawing the ire. Now exhaust has been used. Trey's gonna take a lot of damage. Zealous Valor not quite in tune with the Draven axes yet. Knocks them away, so Trey lives for just a second. That Ziggs is already getting low, is already out of mana. Son of Zeus is the target, and Viego is here. It's a free kill. Son of Zeus has to try and get out of there, has to use any sort of acrobatics that he can do, and he can't not get out. It's a first blood for Soul Muncher on the Viego.
Yeah, well played by Miami there, but that was almost a 2v1 there. If Diana would have had just one more stack. Oh, she didn't even go Conqueror. If she would have went Conqueror, she might have been able to heal herself out of that, but yeah, and now he's
oh no. Something you never anticipate is a Sejuani actually listening to what's going on in the jungle, and the flash is going to be followed, but now he didn't have the damage. Scatter keeps him out. He can't close the distance. Soul Muncher had to flash, and the Q isn't good enough. The charge of the tower. Soul Muncher picks up another one, capitalizing on the mistake of Bigsby.
Yeah, just too aggressive on the side of LFA. They need to sort of slow down and just sort of wait for some sort of progression on this map. They're just going way too ham. They don't have the leads that they've had in these other times, so it seems like they're playing from ahead when they're not actually ahead of Noto. Good taunt on there.
Like, half the reason you pick this GP here is because of oranges, but at the same time, it costs mana. Noto doesn't have to deal with that. So it's not that big of a deal, but the burn forces the flash out. Son of Zeus is here, lands the Q, has the dash resets, gonna use it. Noto didn't get the taunt either. One more, but that's a block. What the hell? Ducks on me, got robbed, and Noto makes it out.
I just watched the replay of that. He was outside of the circle, but maybe because the Q started while he was in, I have no idea how that didn't land. what a play by Noto to get out of there and just by the skin of his teeth, a perfect, uh, like just wow, perfectly timed, pixel perfect escape for him there. Crazy play. That's huge right there for the Shen.
Is huge, and it keeps you on honestly winning feet right now if you're this Shen. Yes, you've got to deal with the Sheen from GP, but the Titanic Hydra seems to be the first target here for Noto, just with those double longswords in inventory. Good wave clear keeps you kind of in line with Gangplank, who has a lot of wave clear themselves, but now this Sheen is going to be so hard to deal with. It's going to start stacking up, but Duxum, he has to be careful. You don't really want to be trading on GP without having that grasp damage. It's pretty important, but Noto's going to get pretty low. It's going to be able to win that barrel out of there, and they're just going to be donkey fighting in the lane. He didn't deal with the Sheen. He can't deal with the heat. Ducks on me. Solo kills Noto off the mistake.
Yeah, I know Titanic's the build, but do you have to go double longsword first, or can you get some of the more defensive health items there? And now, like, he just TP'd to the lane, and now he's got to run all the way back while losing on a wave and a half here. That's huge. Yeah, after such a great escape and play, and we get a pause. So after such great escape play by Noto, then he goes into just suiciding into the GP there. The Sheen longsword, way better than that. So I guess the ADC.
Let's hope that wasn't exactly what happened and they just had to DC there. I think that was from Amethyst, so Zealous Valor is just out of there. For the time being, I'm glad a little bit of a karmic justice came back there and gave that kill back to Ducks on me. Puts LFA at least on the board, but they're still down 600 gold, and that's entirely those 2 kills in favor of this Viego. So now to me, it just means how can you as Viego push your advantage? How can you as Viego really start to spread that worth? Because if you just start power farming, it's not really going to be worth it because Sejuani's okay dropping farm because she's going to have free gank opportunities.
Yeah, I think the number one thing you can do is take the tempo from your bot lane when it's pushed up and get the dragon before Sejuani gets there, and they didn't do it. So right now they're kind of on the back foot of this, the tempo for the objectives, and Son of Zeus is about to hit level 6 in the mid lane, so we'll see if something big is going to happen there. Syndra does have the flash to get away from the ult, but yeah, it's really unfortunate that Shen had such a good play and such a great escape, and then just kind of gives it back up, coming back into that. So I don't know. We'll see.
Pretty big here if Son of Zeus can get that level 6 because you can see Renegade doesn't have mana. They don't have the mana to go. They're going to scatter combo once, just QE, and they might have mana for W. They definitely won't have mana for alt. So Son of Zeus does have the green light to go, but they also dropped away for that roam top lane, so they could be down a lot more XP than maybe we're expecting. I'm not 100% sure. I remember years ago, after like the last big XP change, talking about how mid laners can hit level 6 at 6 minutes into the game, and this was really big. So I imagine Son of Zeus probably has another wave after this. Renegade needs to crash this or does just face death. That's an ignite, electrocute Diana that's hungry.
Yeah, she's looking to go in here. Like you said, just hit the wave, walk away. You do have flash to kind of get out of some of the damage, but if you flash too early and she still has her E and ult, you kind of have to time it perfectly here, as the Diana can one-shot you from here. So as we see, I think the game is about to start again, and just a reminder, as Loki put in the chat, that there will be a bit of a buffer after the pause for the spectator to catch up, so we don't have any more technical difficulties coming from the league client itself.
Yeah, 100%. And I'll probably say it again, but thank you, Loki Bear, for producing this series, this longer series. We've had 2 longer games here tonight, but game 3 going to be coming underway here in a second. Amethyst has to make sure, can they continue to push that GP's lead, push this Draven too, who's up 20 farm already in favor of the Ziggs, but that means that your stacks are starting to go. You got to cash in on those soon, otherwise you're going to end up with 300-400 pretty easily at level 9, level 10, and you haven't cashed yet, and you start to become this big glaring objective on the map that GCCe, they're going to target you every time.
Yeah, And even though you have a deficit in your CS as a Ziggs, you still have the wave clear. You still have everything at your disposal to make sure that you can't get dove. You can't. He's really really good at just sort of catching up if they leave him. So if the Draven goes somewhere else or uses his ult somewhere else or ends up dying from a good gank from the Viego or something, Ziggs will be just fine. But yes, you do want to push that. He's at 116 right now, and as you said, over the next couple of minutes, catching axes and last hitting and everything is going to get him up a little bit longer. And eventually, he will become something that they're going to try to target.
That I've been watching is, well, lack of watching is Moby White. Yeah, it's only been 6 minutes in this game, but dude, Poppy needs to roam. Like that's what you do as this champion. You pick the Ziggs here to make sure that Poppy can roam around the map safely and not have to worry about her own AD carry, even into aggressive lanes like this. And I just haven't been seeing that from Moby. I also watched them on that Pike on, well, Saturday was when the stream was, but last week technically. They also weren't getting off as many roam opportunities as I expected from a roaming support. There's going to be the hitch here. Don't worry. It's going to be in 5 seconds or right now. Unlucky. It's going to be a couple seconds here. I was trying to time it. It's always going to happen at like an inconvenient time. Like they're going to start fighting here. Like Nautilus going to land a hook. And
then it's going to pause, yeah.
And then it's going to pause again.
Let's see a Poppy W stop a Nautilus hook.
There it is.
There it is.
There it is.
Another thing too is that Poppy has not made good use of her W. There was twice where the Nautilus hook came in under turret. She could have W'd and then eat him towards the turret or into the wall within turret range. So this
it does stop him on the way through, but it doesn't like root him. It just grounds him, so you can't use any of your dashes again. Now, like this, some good pokes gonna use. Son of Zeus did hit level 6. Renegade flashes away, isn't able to get out of the damage. Son of Zeus doesn't have the damage either to finish it off. Dodges away from the stun from Soul Muncher here, and is able to make it out of the play. Burn the Ignite for Flash. Not a bad trade there, if I'm speaking as the Diana.
No, but you don't have teleport. I guess Renegade, the teleport is down as well on this Syndra. But it was aggressive play. We knew it was coming, and Renegade played it almost as well as you can, waiting for the Diana to use the ult to flash out of. So good job on the Syndra to get away. Unfortunately, the the W misses from Soul Muncher on this Viego, and they don't get the return kill on the overstep from the Diana. But still, well done.
Terrible, and cycling that ultimate's good because you can see just how quick that cooldown is. We just saw it, we talked about it. It's already halfway back up again, and there's no cooldown items, at least in the inventory of Diana, that we can see. Yes, Parade has made their way top lane with Bigsby. There is no vision in this dot brush. They're really trying to get these first grubs, and they're going to catch out Soul Muncher. Maybe find Yes Parade to hide in that little crevice inside the pit to try and drag Viego in, but you can see they're not doing that. They're just zoning. They're just showing their hand right away because it's more powerful than hiding it.
Yeah, and GP holding the wave where it needs to be and then pushing it at the last second so that he's able to roam. Shen is going to miss a ton of CS for this. The flash comes out from the Nautilus. They're going in on this.
Oh, they've left Bigsby alone in the pit. Here comes the Nautilus assault. Draven's going to come through as well. Doesn't get the damage, and he's far away too. That's 2 grubs in favor of Miami Vice. Son of Zeus, the target's going to get locked into the wall and just bursted. Renegade kill on the board. Noto's going to fall as well. Yes, Parade can't make it out. The Nautilus has nowhere to go. Heartbreaker enough to break his own heart, and he's gone. Nautilus falls as well. Now the eyes are on Ducks are me. Soul Muncher has everything they need to lock on to this GP. He needs to try and do some heroics to make it up. The Heartbreaker, it's a fed. Viego and Soul Munchers on a rampage. Miami Vice have taken down their own Vice and are in a lead.
Right, you just mentioned it, that Soto was all by himself and had no escape, and then he puts himself in that same exact situation. Unfortunate for him there. But yeah, GP, once he got back kill, should have walked away. Now
This is the trade back play that you expect, but Trey's going to stay alive for a little longer. Hook, not enough range. Bigsby burned the ultimate, but there's no follow-up in range from Parade or from Zealous Valor.
No, there wasn't. That was really, really well played by Trey. Holding the W, getting into position, taking the ult, taking all the damage, and then just keeping a cool head about himself and just getting that where he needed needed it to get away. Just gonna keep scrapping a little bit. But yeah, really, really well played on this Ziggs by Trey. Good job just sort of stopping himself and getting away a free kill to that Draven.
Something I did mention was that I viewed Amethyst as like this really good laning team as there comes the Mooncaller there on to Renegade. Renegade's gonna get the Shen ultimate, so now Son of Zeus has to run away. Unleash power has been used. I mentioned Amethyst being a very good lane team here. They're finally, this is the first game out of 5 that they've lost lanes in at least 10 minutes into the game. They're down gold. They're up farm though in everything but mid lane and jungle, but who cares about jungle? I already said that. So it's a rough case there as Son of Zeus' one shot in mid lane barely makes it out. We're dancing around on this map. Everyone's fighting.
Yeah, and I think Nautilus is lucky that he didn't hit that Q. Poppy could have definitely turned that around along with the Ziggs there. I don't know why he was trying to hit that instead of get out, but yeah, really, really well done by Miami here. Like you said, they just taking all of this.
Like he chose to. I don't know. I don't know what I saw there, but it's okay. Soul Muncher on the invade. Doesn't get the blue buff, but does get the information. Bigsby is here. Now Renegade has to reset half HP. Has a lot of gold too. The numbers are in advantage of Amethyst. That's the call away from GCCe. Noto's starting to take a lot of damage from GP here in the top lane. Dragon has its sights set on Amethyst. More so, Amethyst wants to start this. There's Viego in range. Has Blade of the Rune King as well, so he's got his own sword. Can he turn this?
No, I think that they're just going to concede this one. They got the 2 grubs from before. They're just going to have to get this second dragon. Unfortunately, the backup times were not managed well by Miami Vice here. But you know, Ziggs is catching back up in CS now, starting a tier, so that he can fix his mana woes. Noto is taking a lot of damage and is down on the GP, but it's a Shen. After his Titanic Hydra, hopefully he just goes all tank, and you know he should be okay there. But yeah, this is kind of like a back and forth, kind of like what I expected out of this after game 2.
A big thing too is that Draven's stack check-in is probably around the 200s now, and that's that ultimate execute as well. 243. So if you're at 243 HP when that ult comes through you, you're gone. So Trey is playing under so little HP, and the dive comes through. The ult's gonna go wide. Trey is stuck under the tower. The GP ult, they're trying to make sure Draven can claim if Trey's out of the way, and the ult's gonna call back, and he's got it. Del's Power cashes in on his stacks. Now Moby White under the tower. Yes, Parade trades back 1 for 1 under the tower. I agree. Not sure what he's doing now. Noto is engaging on a Duxami top lane. Here comes the side lane play. It's flashed through beautifully by Ducks on Me. Soul Muncher found a trade play, but not the same value.
No, it's not. But you don't really need it because Ziggs got his own kill off of them just staying under the turret for way too long. So good job by Trey as his flash is in. And he does have Renegade coming up.
Does have Heartbreaker too. He's gone. Shenult's coming too. I don't think he needed this. He's gonna get the assist. But GP free push on that lane. That farm woes we were mentioning Noto having is only gonna get exacerbated.
It is, but I'll still stand on the fact that it's a Shen, and he's going to be extremely useful no matter whether he's down 50 farm or 100 farm. He's still one of those champions that can still give agency when needed. And Renegade gets a good poke down.
A little more good poke onto Yes Parade. 3 levels down on Syndra. It's natural for a sport to be down XP, even this much, but means you can't hold waves like this as easily against a mid laner. And you're gonna start seeing Trey really get that same level advantage, and the hook just barely missed. I liked the look there from Parade, even with Moby White there, but how does it get? Oh, they just barely missed Sejuani in the jungle. Uh-oh.
Yeah, and things are calming down. Now you're getting back to the bot lane where it's going to be a Bloodthirster Draven just farming into his Ziggs. He did cash in on his stacks earlier on, and yeah, it does look like Aldux is, he might end up ulting here. Nope.
Doesn't have it.
I thought he was going to
Sadly.
kill. Yeah.
I mean, this is just as bad as killing. You're losing a wave, you're losing HP in your tower if you're Noto here. and that gives so much priority and pressure here towards the Herald. They're burning Moby White on this rotate. Yes, Zealous Valor and Trey can both sit solo, but at this point in the game, Draven's so happy to do that.
Yeah, I think
Never
both
mind.
bot
What
laners
do
are kind of both bot laners are kind of happy to do this. Draven does kind of want the kills and stuff, but you know, if you can just keep this one going, the biggest thing is now is we have another objective up.
Ah, Parade
Oh,
is
flash.
flashed out of there. Beautifully done. Here comes the Draven axes, but no kill found, just damage. No clue how and why Parade decided to do that, but I'm happy they got out.
Yeah, and that's what I was talking about earlier with the Poppy Wing and getting that wall up. So that if he didn't have flash, that was a dead Nautilus. So good job getting the flash out of there. But at the same time, like, you gotta be careful. You're a Nautilus support. You know, you don't have the items to be as tanky as you want to be. As now Miami gets the Rift Herald here, they're gonna be able to break open this mid and maybe even take that for like a double turn somewhere.
They forced Renegade to TV bot lane. Zealous Valor is going to get scattered. Renegade does have a lot of damage, but maybe doesn't anticipate the same in return from Draven. He's getting walked down. Noto back in the top lane. Ducks on me. Has more than enough damage on the Draven. Here comes the Herald charge. It's trying to find the knockup. It's going to miss the tower as well. It just lands at the wall. Moby White's at the tower. Going to find the stun of the wall. And Son of Zeus still makes it out. Herald got the charge too. Thank God. GCCe make it out on top from that position.
Yeah, super lucky there for Moby to not just get out of there as
Oh. Renegade is just gone. You cannot get away from Draven, and eventually enough drinks of that Bloodthirster. No, wait, it's called, what's it called? The W. Is it literally Bloodthirster as well? Bloodthirsty? That speed up thing that Tyler one used to have an energy drink, the W. Blood Rush. Tyler one had like an energy drink named after that, and I thought that was really funny. I should know that.
When did Jesper die?
Like a hamster.
I mean, I know the answer, but I don't know how he died. We missed that play because we saw the Draven and his fancy footwork on the bottom. As it does look like Miami's going to get the better of this because they're going to get the dragon as long as Sejuani doesn't come in and steal. She has no ult because she used it on the Poppy earlier, so the cooldowns are going to be big here. But we'll see now as
they've got Ducks on me here. Noto has the ult. They don't need to worry about it. Standing on it's on cooldown, trying to get that push on the top lane. They've got Tiamat to make it work. Moby White's going to go on Zen of Zeus. Ducks on me, barrels onto Soul Muncher. Don't have the damage that you expect here. Here comes some sort of Democracy and Justice, but just to get you out of the fight temporarily, Moby White burned to the ultimate. It's a big cooldown gone. All 5 are here from the side of LFA. And Shen's knocking on the door. They're trying to claim this dragon space. They can't get it. But if you're GCC, you need to try and get some sort of vision into this banana brush. That's where all of LFA is sitting right now. Soul Muncher frontlining is going to get hooked up. Yes, Parade found it. Son of Zeus can't get the Mooncaller because they don't need it. He's gone through. Ducks on me. Finished off Moby White as well. GCCe are collapsing. They're taking a lot of damage. Bixby's one-shot. Parade's going to go back for the fight. Valor and Son of Zeus full HP ready to go. Ducks on me going to fall. GP out of the fight. That's a lot of damage from LFA. Is gone. Here comes Zigzag. It's a good poke. Bixby's low. Can't get sustained up. Maybe gonna start on this dragon just to get some HP up. Renegade finds Scatter. Not enough damage. Noto here, ready to find the fight. He's gonna find that taunt onto Son of Zeus. Parade, use it as a way to go in, but maybe it's miscommunicated. LFA, they weren't ready for it. Scatter's gonna go wide because it's scattered everywhere, but Shen didn't get it. He got the kill instead. It showed up at the right time, but not the right thing. Still dragon in favor of LFA, but 4, 5 dead, I'm pretty sure for that.
Yeah, well, it was 4 in total for the 1 onto the Soul Muncher, but they do get the dragon. They're ahead on this now. We do see the GP coming in from the side here. There's going to have to be something done here on the side.
Renegade is, in fact, dead. Yep, the Gat. Got hit with the Gat there from Ducks on me. He's going to land the slow from the barrel too. Moby White is the next target, but Ducks on me can't close the distance. Poppy's a little too fast. The Orbital Champions. You'll notice they're all pretty quickly, and Poppy's out of there.
They do get the tower in trade, you know, so this is, you know, turret traded back. Miami is still in this, but what they need to do now is they need to not let them get any more dragons. One more dragon, Ocean Soul on this team is going to be really, really hard to deal with. So, interesting to see what they do here. Draven just getting more and more stacks once again. But yeah, game slowed down a little bit, the Noto on this Shen is doing a really good job of keeping them in this game right now.
Yeah, lots of key taunts. The taunts around that dragon play especially kept them in. It kind of confused Yes Parade, I believe. That just made it so hard for LFA to find space in this fight. They don't have really a proper team fighting comp set up yet. They need damage from this GP. But you can see GP's opting into a little bit more of an ability power route. Has the Malignants. Looks like they're going to start working on that Leandries as well, which is pretty good with GP ults and the barrels, but it stalls that 1v1 damage that you really expect. That crit GP that typically is online by this point, AP takes another item, so it could cost them dearly.
Yeah, this is the solar knock, especially as we were talking about earlier. For good GPs, the AP GP does a ton of damage that you really don't see coming. This Otacon fight is starting to happen here.
They've taken a lot of damage and a lot of armor, and MR Shred here is coming through. Syndra's going to start pushing bot side. She has TP. Moby White's in the fight. Bigsby doesn't have resistances. Soul Munchers take them out. There's no jungler. This isn't a 50-50. It's all in favor of Miami Vice. They're going to be able to claim Otacon here with Syndra auto, 4 HP. Son of Zeus here, ready to try and clean up the backline. Duxami standing down, standing in the alcove, trying to buy time. Can't quite do it. It's a kill to Draven as well. It's even, not even, kill even in the kills department. Yes, Parade finds a hook, but maybe didn't want to do that. Scatter's gonna be onto his face. He's gone. Double kill claimed by Renegade. Soul Muncher has the Nautilus, but not enough range for the hook. Minions in the way. Zealous Valor gets away into the tower. Seems to be the theme. LFA going too far forward without their Draven.
Yeah, and LFA, they were out of that. Like, why turn that? You really just screwed yourself on that one. Turning around on the Nautilus, Q away. Your Draven is safe. Get out. But instead, they decided to go for this. They lost the Otacon. They lost another couple of kills for basically nothing. Just sort of giving this one away. They gotta redirect their focus now. Get this dragon. Get back to what was working for them. And then hopefully this Eagle play on the GP doesn't screw them over in the end. One ult can turn the tide of the fight, but as you were saying earlier, crit GP, you can literally 100-0 3 people on this Miami Vice team. So
yeah, they're so squishy too. So I don't know why they went it. No one's gonna stack. The only person that's stacking armor is Shen, and you're not really worried about that because, like, oh no, Shen's still alive. Yeah, the rest of the team isn't because I have barrels. So I'm not really sure what he's going with that there. But a big thing I saw in that fight beforehand was Otacon tagged everybody twice with that like circle in AoE that they have, the mechanic where you're supposed to stand under the Otacon. Yeah, literally all of LFA failed that mechanic, and that cost them all each 10 armor and MR minimum per like proc on it, and they each got hit twice. So not great. And Zealous Valor isn't known in this bush. They're trying to find Moby White, but Moby White can tank this up now on the Poppy. It's 30 seconds before the dragon.
Yeah, W is down for the Poppy, but it doesn't look like it's going to matter. It's going to be back up by the time they want to go in again. So he will be able to stop this Nautilus engage, or the Diana engage. And also Shen with TP and also ult. So he can ult in if they win the fight, TP back to the lane, take the tier 2 top. He might take it before they can even respond to it because it looks like LFA wants this Dragon Soul, rightfully so. But they're gonna have
Yes, Parade. It's the theme of the night. Nautilus can't stop dying. You can't stop taking damage. You have to frontline on the champion, but you can't tanky. They've entered into River, but look at Noto is knocking on that tier 2 top lane, and it's pretty low already if we remember correctly. So this Dragon's Gate startup LFA trying to claim the soul. Renegade is here, Moby White's here, Trey's here, Soul Muncher here on the top side of the fights. Found Son of Zeus here. They're trying to engage on it all, trying to take him down. Yes, Parade staying alive for a little bit longer. Burns the ignite from someone, but he's just gonna fall. Renegade picks up the kill. Son of Zeus dies, can barely get the ult off in time. GP ult does a lot of damage, but there's no one to clean up the kills. Bigsby's focusing on the dragon, can't get it, loses the 50-50 to GCCe. Now he's gonna fall. It's a 3-for-1 on the fight. Dragon goes the way of Miami Vice as well. They can't side lane, they can't team fight. LFA are locked out. Soul Muncher looks crazy.
Yeah, very well played on this side, and he's still going in this Shen. I love it. Noto is showing on this game, just proving that last game was not a fluke. Put Stux in his place on this one. The GP ult did do a lot of damage, but he doesn't have the Leandry full yet.
We stops two of them.
He's got some big balls on him.
He's got some big balls on him.
He does stop the backs here, but the soul point is pushed back another 5 minutes now, and all of the momentum is now going into the favor of Miami Vice. We'll see if they can continue to keep this one going. As now the Baron is up, and that's where they're looking. Ducks might actually be caught out.
Ducks has been spotted, is a third HP, starting up those Raptors. You just can't stay there. Bigsby watches them go, I guess. I don't know. Baron's getting started up here for the side of Miami Vice. There's no other objective to try and side lane and trade on the map.
Not up yet either.
Yeah, GP ult isn't up. It's going to be up maybe in time for this counter fight, but no one is close. Amethyst just have to give this up unless it's a Draven ult can steal it. It's not even going to come out close to on time. It's a full-on Miami Vice Baron. It's the first of its kind for this series. They look confident in this game.
Yeah, and as you're talking about in the chat, this Nautilus just taking so much poke damage from the Syndra, from the Ziggs. I really like the comp on the side of Miami. That's it. Like, they're playing it almost to perfection here. Few missteps here and there mechanically, but they are definitely playing this as they intended. Just using the Ziggs, using the Syndra, and then the Viego coming in with the Shen ult is just so detrimental to the side of LFA. They can't handle it.
Brady's going for those hooks that you really don't want to be going for as well. That hook kills everyone in that mid lane because of Viego's presence there. 10-1, 3 items, 26 minutes in the game. Yes, it's not like that out of whack if you have phenomenal farm on a laner, but on a jungler, usually you don't see this. And that's why you're watching Viego just dominate these fights so much. Heartbreaker does so much damage. Those champion resets do so much damage, because keep in mind, LFA, everyone but this Sejuani has a ton of damage. So if Viego turns into them, he can go buck wild.
Yeah, and he has been, and that's kind of the story of this game right now. And somebody said it doesn't matter about farm on junglers. He's proven I'm wrong right now, because this is really well done on the side of Vice here. Oh, so much showing just how important the jungle gap can be right now.
I think that
6-2 items.
that was a Diana ult there. I think they were looking to try and do the flash combo on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got it down now. Duck Summoning's going to get pretty low. Here comes the depth charge from Soul Muncher. Flashes away to make sure they can't get re-engaged on Draven. It's going to do a lot of damage. Nodo isn't here. Has Stain United. The Shen ultimate is in the wings. And Son of Zeus is going to take a lot of poke from the Syndra Renegade. Told them we needed to see them prove why they should be on this rift, and they are doing just that.
Yeah, this is really good. Like I said before, this is the redemption arc for him, and you got 2 Baron waves coming in. The GP ult does so much damage here. Renegade is almost dead, but they're all
Grouped up with the GP ult. It's gonna take a lot of damage. Renegade found Dux. He's gone. Son of Zeus is able to flash out the fight. Nodo, one shot. Everyone's really low HP. They're waiting for the Draven. No Nautilus hook found Draven. Can't find these autos. He can't get into range. He can't finish off the targets. There's nothing else to catch them out. Look how fast he targets out now. Viego gonna find the re-engage on Bigsby. Bigsby takes a lot of damage from Viego. Renegade and Nodo see them on the sides of the fight. They're ready for their jungler to make this play. It's called off from Amethyst.
Yeah, great disengage from the Ziggs, from the Syndra, the scatter, the bomb to jump it back to W on the Ziggs. Like, everything is just working in their favor right now. They're playing their champions and their comp very effectively. Viego is cleaning up these fights really well. The Shen ults have been very well timed. Excuse me. The Shen ults have been very well timed, and the disengage from Miami, realizing, hey, we have the Baron, but we're gonna lose this if we stay here. They've been doing such a really good job with all the vision right here.
All that vision allows Bigsby to get poked up, but they don't want to continue the fight. They're worried about that deeper vision. They don't have it quite yet. Now Zealous Valor is making away. It's a 5v5. LFA have their sights set on Dragon. They can give this away, but they need to look for some sort of side lane. You can see the pings in the top lane, but there's no one close. LFA is not ready for this counter map, cross map. They look lost.
Yeah, and that's the problem that we talked about in game 1, and now we're seeing it in game 3 again, of not having TTPs on your team. Meanwhile, Miami has 3. They can be everywhere that they want to be. I really hope that starting next week he's going to realize, hey, we need TPs on our side laners.
It would be really, really good if Son of Zeus could be farming up because they need damage. You're expecting this Dyna, especially with Ignite, Electrocute, to be super fed, to be super ahead, and just burst anyone that they choose, just like the Syndra from last game. But now in this case, without that TP, without the ability to get farm easily from the side lane, they just can't do that. They can't get any gold without getting kills, and they're not getting kills either because they can't last long enough to fight, and they can't burst anyone. It's a self-fulfilling prophecy.
Archangels on the Ziggs, the Shen ult, just everything is just, it's got to be extremely frustrating if you're LFA right now. As we see, Diana is trying to soak up some XP and some money in the side lane here, but has to rejoin the team, doesn't have TP, so can't be a split push in Menace. The only one who really can is GP, but Triforce, Malignance, Leandries, he can be anywhere on the map, but if Miami, sees it and calls it out, that could be the difference between 6,000 damage and 1,000 damage.
And a big thing too, you saw in that gold graph when it showed up, GP has the same amount of gold as Syndra, and usually that means you're expecting or like a similar amount of gold as like the Syndra and the Viego, and usually you expect that much damage, but it's the AP GP. All of that damage is locked behind the ultimate pretty much. So it comes down to these really big GP ultimates, and it just kind of sucks the life, it feels like, from Amethyst comp. They do really want that burst from the barrels. It comes through. You're seeing him land 2-3-man barrels. Bigsby's going to get picked out here by Moby White and Soul Muncher. They're going to be able to find Bigsby, and you cannot get away. There's too much damage coming onto you. Sejuani's going to fall, and Baron literally just spawned. That's a beautiful pick by Miami Vice.
Perfect timing, and before game one even started, in the chat, Moby, I will have the better vision, and it took 3 games to come to fruition, but he gets it. This could be a potential try to steal from the GP Draven, but not gonna happen.
720? It's close. Yeah, you can see that ultimate does a lot of damage. They're trying to find fight. They're able to find the Moon Call. It's on to them, but Son of Zeus, Syndra from the heavens has taken down Amethyst. They have no HP to work with. Nodo is here. He's going to follow Zealous Valor, picks up the kill. It's looking for a heartbreak from Soul Muncher, but he's going to elect not to do it. Still, 2 for 1. Baron is gone. It's tragic.
Yeah, so much damage. What a great scout of the week by Renegade. Put everybody basically into a small funnel, and the Ziggs ult and the Renegade's ult and Syndra's ult just completely turned that fight over. That was 4 people with full health against basically a third health for everybody for Miami, and just all that damage coming out from the Syndra, from the Ziggs, as Moby might be caught out here. But yeah, very well played by Miami to just sort of wait for them to be stacked up and then just take advantage of that with the Ziggs, with the Syndra.
Everyone from LFA is just stuck under their own base, farming minions, trying to get some sort of gold, some sort of restitution from these lost fights, but now all of a sudden you're dealing with that scatter damage from Syndra, that heartbreaker from Viego here catching out. They found Yes Parade here, and look at that. That was one auto attack for 500 damage onto your tanky Nautilus. Supposed to be tanky Nautilus, but he has to itemize both damage types. Now, Moby White caught out, flashes away, gets sent up. Yes Parade's gonna fall away. The bomb, more than enough. Son of Zeus doesn't have the burst. He's shut down, found Syndra, but there's no continued damage. Zealous Valor dropped both axes. Double kill claimed by the Heartbreaker. Soul Muncher has just torn a hole through Amethyst.
Yeah, and Moby with a huge play, sitting up under the turret, making sure that they get it there. This is probably the end here. I don't see any way that this continues any further. I don't think the Draven has enough. What a crazy turn of events here, as after game one, you didn't think there was any chance that Miami had a shot here, and now it's just all going in the way of Miami here, as the death timers are going to be way too long. This is going to be Miami's game. What a fucking... Oh, sorry. What a series. That was insane. This was a pleasure to cast, and I'm glad that I swapped my pick.
Pick swap to be
Sorry.
correct, double down to be wrong. It's all good. GCCe Miami Vice take down the Titans of Amethyst. They're able to tame the Duck in the top lane, as he's just not able to find the impact. Trey and Renegade and Soul Muncher come up huge and take the series here alongside Mobiwite and Noto, doing the job of the role players. Yes, their damage isn't great. Yes, their KD is maybe not as highlight worthy as you expect, but oh man, they put in the work.
That they did, and I think that they have now established a blueprint for facing LFA, which is get him off of any of these champions that he's like killing stuff on, like the Kennen, the Gnar, the Volibear, obviously from game one. Uh, Target bans are going to come Duck's way, so the rest of the team is going to have to step up. They're going to have to find a hero somewhere else. And Zealous Valor on the Draven, 505, still not enough to get it done. Unfortunately for him, but very well played from Miami. The GCCe literally came through when they needed it. Much better team oriented, as we saw. Their lanes can lose, they can fall behind, but they can still collectively win. Whereas LFA seemed to just rely on all Ducks to just garner all of the attention. But it didn't end up working out for them this time. Really fun series to cast though.
A pleasure. Thank you, Merc, for hosting us. Thank you, Lucky Bear, for producing. Thank you, chat, and everyone here for participating and spending your night and evening with us. Happy Sunday. Try and have a good work week. We'll see you all next week for IBSG Merc Academy.